Okay, is this working? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. As you guys can see from the title, I'm gonna try and attempt to voice troll in school. And this is not clickbait, so I'm gonna try. So I'm definitely gonna try to use my girl voice. Like, oh my gosh, like, is that actually someone from school? Oh my gosh. Like, I'm gonna try. I'm also gonna try to change my username, but still have Connor in it, I guess. But let's just see. Let's just see how it's gonna go. So this is actually gonna be really hard because like my teachers can literally just know what my profile is. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm not gonna change my username. What I meant, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that I'm like it's not me. They have to agree with me, and then at the end I'm gonna try to troll them at least, but like and say it's me. But what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna keep myself on saying I got hacked. Like I'm gonna literally say that or something like that. I'm gonna pretend I got hacked and stuff like that. So let's hop into going to my first class, and I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try. Welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna try to voice troll people. So this time I have a bad feeling about this also, but let's hop into this. I have my camera off, but I need to figure something out. So, I actually have a good idea. You're probably wondering why do I have this up? Well, this is what gave me the idea. This is literally what gave me the idea. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna change my profile. Girl. Random pictures. Okay. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I hope my teacher doesn't get like really mad. Sorry about this, but let's just grab this. We're grabbing this one, okay? Dude, I feel like my teacher gonna hate me. Okay, my photo. Okay, so it still has it. Okay. Computer. It doesn't work. Okay, hold on. Why is this not? Guys, it's not showing up. Hey, let's use Darth Vader, okay? Okay, whatever. I guess that's not gonna work, but F5. Okay, you guys can see me on here, right? So, I'm going to turn that off, mute myself, join. Okay, hope this actually works. Like, I don't know. Like, I have a bad feeling that.
Hey Connor, how are you?
I'm good.
Really, Connor? I
Um,
love
I'm not
it.
Connor.
You're not.
Yeah.
Okay, who is that?
It's his mother.
Oh, well, um, Mother Erickson, it's important that we speak to Connor. Can you let him on?
No.
Well, he has to get assignments done, Mother, and you can't do them.
Um, yeah, I can.
Nope, you can't. Connor has to do his own work. However, I also need Connor to help me with my settings on my home webcam because, as you can see, they're all dark. And I've had Geek Squad help me, but they haven't solved the issue. So Connor really needs to help.
I can help you.
Okay, well, you hold on till I talk to other students. But Connor and Joe, as well as Mary, who's great started again, or so far, need to do some common lit. We have unfinished assignments. Connor, do you know Connor's mom is on the line, everyone, not Connor. So I'm working through Connor's mom to talk to him.
Okay.
Okay. So do you know, Mother Erickson, which assignments Connor needs to complete for Common Lit?
Is it with Mr. Dunlap?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think you could give Connor that message and then when he's finished, maybe he can help me? You see how dark my background is? It wasn't that way before I logged into Google Classroom. And even though I change it, it doesn't seem to hold. So after you help Connor with his assignment, maybe he could come back on and help me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we'll check back in about 10 minutes and see if Connor's on his way to assignment completion for Common Lit.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Mr. Barry, how are you?
Okay, I'll be right back. I actually don't know how to change the settings, so
Joe,
give me a second.
Good, how are you?
good. So did you see your email from Mrs. Dunlap?
No.
Check your emails. You got some work to do there, guy.
I did the common one. I don't know.
It's not complete. That's what I wanted to tell you. So we're going to talk about that instead of the current assignment for today. So it wasn't complete, and no, that's not you. Hold on. She returned it to you because you didn't do the open-ended using the ACE method. So she wants you to redo it with 2 quotations. And she said you can use the ACE response sheet on the Google Classroom. So you may want to check your inbox because she also emailed you that.
But the point is, I still did it. Why do I gotta do it like that, though?
Okay.
Well, it's not like that. There's 2 things going on here. You did not do the open-ended using the ACE method. So the ACE method, so what she's telling you is whatever you turned in is not done well.
I know that
So the
that didn't
first
work,
thing
guys,
you have
but
to do
it's
is
just
your
hilarious,
assertion,
like
which
how
is
teachers
answer the
react
prompt,
to like me doing a girl voice.
then cite, and then explain. So I can't see if you can share with me. I don't know how to do that. What you did, I can work you through it.
I know how to help you brighten up your webcam.
That's Mother Erickson that we're talking to right now. What did you say?
If you turn some lights on, you might be able to brighten up your webcam.
Oh, me. Okay. I thought you were talking to Joe. Okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
We'll do that first. But first, let's get Joe started and let's get you started.
I'm cool. I don't need no help. I'm cool.
Nicole, you know what to do?
Yeah, I got
I know it's frustrating. So here's the solution. Just use that method because you're going to use that method next year in English class with Mrs. Sartoria. So the sooner you learn
Oh,
it,
that's what she mean.
you know,
Hold on.
the better. You can't, it's actually
My
a very
web-
simple method.
Cam.
I know it. I'm just
is
saying I didn't have time
black
yesterday, so I
and
just jotted something down.
background.
Okay.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your
I do.
webcam
I
drop
do. And I
down menu
understand that you were trying to get it done
on
as best you could
Chroma,
in a small
your
time
webcam background
frame.
will
Got it.
automatically blur.
But she wants it done better
On
for a better
Google
grade for you. And I can't blame her.
Classroom.
Can you?
Guys, sorry, I'm not that good at. I'm good at computers, but
No, not really.
trying to figure out what you're doing.
She wants you to do
No.
your best.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I understand.
Okay, so do you have time now to do that? Because that's in addition to the new lesson you're going to have today.
Yeah, yeah, I got time
Virtual
on.
backbone.
I'm doing
system,
Donardo,
lighten
and then
up
I'll
your
do
virtual
that.
backbone.
Okay, if you need help, let me know. So, Mother Erickson, look how it worked. The question is, it won't hold. Like when I go and log on again, it goes back to the original dark stuff.
I actually don't know.
Okay. Well, at least I know how to fix it temporarily, which is good. So thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
okay. Can you start on your English? So I have Mary, you, and Joe working on English. I have Nate working on his subjects. And Hannah, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna change the
You're
title
pretty
for this.
good. I don't see anything late at this point. Am I correct?
Okay, it's not gonna be troll in trying to troll,
No,
but
everything's turned in.
it's still gonna be like this.
Okay.
The reaction.
So poll before you get started.
Not
Do you think we'll go back
my-
Monday or do you think we'll be off again?
Teachers have.
Anybody have a
when
prediction?
Okay, that's the long title.
We're all gonna be online for a little bit.
You
There you go.
think? You think it'll extend beyond Monday?
There you go. That's
No,
gonna be
we
it.
won't be back.
I mean,
Definitely
I will
not
work on a
Monday.
thumbnail. Don't worry, guys. But that's
Okay.
gonna be later on.
I think I tend to agree with you, Joe. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Mother Erickson, just a question.
Yeah.
In lighting, can you see my screen?
No.
Okay. So there's a category called gamma. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, now the other thing that was happening was when I speak, you hear my voice, but the slide is slow motion. What's causing that?
Maybe it's just lag.
It is a lag, but there was never a lag before. What causes a lag?
She's okay. She's to the left. I just had myself unmuted. Oops.
I bumped us out again. So sorry, everyone. And see what happens? It goes back to the dark, even though the lights are on. So I have to bring up this and I have to go back. Oh, well. Okay, who needs my help?
I'm not that good at making like people. Like, I can get people's reactions, but trying to voice show in school, even though they know what email you have, it's just the hard part. But for school, you can't join the school with a different email. Yes, you can, but like if your email's not working. But that's like a false statement, I guess. I need to move my webcam for a second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to do my work, but I'm also gonna just move this over here. Okay, guys. So, you guys can't even see that because of how. Oh, Okay, so it doesn't really show, but guys get the point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my history, okay, my English. My history's done. So. Like, whenever the teacher picks on me, I'm literally just gonna do the girl voice. This whole entire day. Like, this whole entire, like, Zoom and Google Classroom. So that's all I'm gonna be doing. By the way, for English, I just guess answers. But since I'm just doing this on the live stream, let's not guess the answers this time. So, this is gonna suck for me, but that's graded, and that's due tomorrow. When does this due? Due tomorrow at 2. Okay, page 12 and 13. That's journal. I actually do that today, but like somewhere around after this live stream. Maybe like after I'm done doing recording and stuff. And by the way, I tried to do a recording on voice trolling, but all I get is,
Oh, you sound like Observer. Like, oh my gosh.
but afterwards, like when I say,
I'm not a YouTuber. Like,
or like a sentence, my voice just cracks. Like, I try to at least put it in the same pitch, like the same. What do you guys? Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like if it's like a whole sentence, I just cut out. Like it's just hard. Like,
oh my gosh. Like, are you a boy or are you a girl?
like you guys can get. Like, I literally just say,
Are you a boy or are you a girl? Like, oh my gosh.
Alexa, is there a timer set?
No.
There are no timers set.
Alexa, set the timer for 20. Alexa, cancel. Alexa, set the timer for 12:21.
Is that 12:21 in the morning or in the afternoon?
Afternoon.
guys, if there's
Alarm
anyone
set
who's
for
has an
12:21
Alexa right
PM.
next to them, please cancel it. Because like you're gonna have a time set to it. Okay. Bell ringer. Let's do this, okay? No, actually I can't do that. I have to do that in class. Ace method, common lit, or common lit. Which one do I do? This is missing. I'm sorry, it's missing. Okay.
Oh my gosh, like, I've never done this.
Yeah, let's put this like right here. And I don't need that, so what we need is this. Okay. Sorry if my screen looks like messy right now. But this is usually how it works sometimes. Like I would have my class up here. If I had to unmute myself, I put the camera on. Which I get them in. Okay, the teacher wasn't watching. But I would put my camera on or my microphone on, which the teacher definitely knows it's me, but
I don't care.
But that's kind of all. Let's go to the common lit. Do this common lit. Google. By the way, you guys can see a bunch of emotes, right? Sorry about that. Actually, you guys can't because my name is technically covering up. Oh, man, that's good. But mostly, not really. Okay.
Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't being so crystal stars.
Yeah, I'm actually going to move this down here, okay? Let's move this down and let's move this up so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing.
Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't being so crystal stars.
Look what I can do.
Mother to Son, by Langston Hughes, 1922. Langston Hughes, 1902 to 1967, was an American poet, activist, novelist, and playwright. He is also considered one of the leaders of the Harlem Renaissance, which was the cultural, social,
Don't
and
care.
artistic movement
Just
of
read
black
faster.
artists that took place in Harlem between the end of World War I and the mid-1930s. Skill focus. Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
I don't care.
Okay, let's do
It's
this.
had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare.
How does the speaker describe her life in the first person? Don't seven lines. Let's start with that. It says splinters, right? But also it said. Okay, can you please read this once again?
Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare.
Okay, saying it's just pain. As difficult to painful climb, I guess. Okay. This is what, if I was gonna try, yes, I would try. Like, but you have to like read a little bit. Okay, I'm lying about that. Yeah, you had. I'm trying. Okay, let's read this.
But all the time, I's been climbing on, and reaching londines, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light.
What would it be like to climb a strange staircase in the dark? Frightened and confused, exciting and adventurous. I don't know if I said that word correct. Boring or unexciting or sad and I'm pretty sure it'd be sad. No, I was wrong. It just guess. Just guess. Like, that's fantastic. Like, let me just tell you why this is sad. You're in the dark. There you go.
So boy, don't you turn back, don't you set down on the steps, 'cause you finds it's kinder hard, don't you fall now, for I's still goin', honey, I's still climbin', and life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
So it's saying just keep on trying, I guess. I don't know. The last line just saying keep on trying. So it says keep going up the stairs because she is still going, or she is still going, or that B it says that he will not be able to reach the top without a lot of help, or C that he will fall down the stairs if he is not careful. I'm pretty sure it won't be that. Just say don't you fall now. So it's definitely not gonna be. It's close to being C. The crystal stairs are not hard to climb if he doesn't turn back. Boy, don't turn back. So okay, the first line.
So boy, don't you turn back, don't you set, so boy, don't you
Okay,
turn back,
let
and
me
life
just
for
put
me
that-
ain't been no crystal stair.
Okay, so the first line. Sorry, I had to click that. So the first line says, "So boy, don't turn back." He doesn't turn, or it says the crystal stairs are not hard to climb if he doesn't turn back. I don't know. I don't care. D. Okay. I can't believe I clicked D. What the? Even though I said it was A. In the poem, whom is the speaker addressing and about what? A son. Okay, so the speaker to mother. Hold on, no. No. The mother is not speaker. Sorry, the speaker is lost son. I don't know who this is.
By Langston Hughes, 1922. Langston Hughes,
Okay,
and life for me ain't been
don't.
no crystal stair.
Oh, I can hide it. Okay, never mind.
Mother just.
Okay, I can pause it. Okay, poem who is Langston Hughes is the speaker addressing to what? Okay. A mother is telling a story to her children about her own childhood, I guess. Or the son is encountering a conversation her mother had with him about a general struggle towards earning a comfortable living. A mother is warning her son about the difficulties of life. Okay, there you go. BD. D seems the better. What is the general? I don't care. In the poem, narrator describes the tiring climb up a beat-up staircase with. Okay, so seems what it would be. Some of these words I don't know how to say. Let's just say this. I still have trouble saying stuff. But like most of the days I'm just fine at saying I'm good at saying big words, but sometimes I'm gonna have trouble with saying them. But I was in speech before, so like
Okay. Mother Erickson, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. How are you doing helping Connor?
We're doing good.
How far along is he?
He's almost done.
Oh, perfect. Will you let me know when he's done?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So, Mary, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay. Joe?
People on the other side, I'm pretty sure, is wondering.
I'm good.
What
Okay.
is he doing?
Do you think you may get the assignment done before
Dang!
the end of the period? That is a scam call. Would you please stop it?
That's loud. That is actually. I clicked the wrong thing.
That's my landline. That's my cell phone. I'm on the computer. 2 of them.
Too much loud noise. Okay. This one I'm just gonna guess. Like mostly just problems, like of a continuous problems, I guess. The ability to rise above difficulty. Yeah. Which of the following statements best describe a theme of the poem? Never forget your family. Hope is the answer for all challenges. Accept your elders. Hope it's the answer. There you go. By the way, the last one I would have to write something. And I don't want to do this. I actually don't want to do this. Like I could do the common lit, or I'm positive I don't have to do this common lit. The link should work if you want to do this on complete. Okay, hold on. The link should work if you want to use this. Complete your open-ending response to the common lit poem. Sorry that the other links was not showing or working. What's she talking about? But like this one, it's just. Also, I'm already on it, but I'm positive I'm already on it. Yes, I am. So this one, it's just the same thing, and I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to use this. Like yeah, let's just forget about that. Guys, have in the comments why am I doing this? Go ahead and ask me. Like, if it's Google Classroom and I'm in my learning support, I would have my screen at least 2 different ways, but not really. The heck? Why is this keyboard? Okay, never mind. This keyboard is unplugged for a reason. Okay. By the way, you guys are probably wondering, what keyboard am I using? I'm using my smaller keyboard. Not better than the HyperX, but I keep saying this is probably better, but I don't know. I feel like this one is better than the HyperX. It's probably because how like fast I click the keys. But That's kind of all. Okay, so what excerpt from the poem best captures the speaker's message to her son? Well, son, tell you life for me ain't being no crystal stairs. What the heck does crystal stairs mean? Like, not easy or something? Life for me ain't being or been no has not been easy or something. I really don't know. It has tacks in it and splinters and boards. Okay. So boy, don't turn you back. Don't turn you back. Don't turn back. What the heck? Don't you sit down on the stairs, cause you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for eyes still going, honey. Okay. I'm gonna say this one, 3 to 7. What message of the theme does the poem express about dealing with challenges? Okay. Here, you guys will probably see how I type, and I'm going to put this up that you guys can see it. Maybe. Hold on. You guys see that? Okay, that's not gonna work. I was trying to get the and see what I can do, but can you guys? Yeah, you guys can definitely see that now. In this poem, the express about dealing problems or dealing with challenges, I guess. Challenges has been roughed. With this keyboard, I can't really type. With this keyboard, I can. But like, I don't know. It's just smaller. I don't know why. Has been roughed for people during the time. Has been roughed for people in many ways. There you go. In many ways.
Hey Mark, before you guys leave, make sure there's nothing that he can get into, okay? Is there another like balance break that I can have?
Okay, for one example is life has not been a crystal stair. I don't know what that means. Like, what does crystal stair mean? Yeah. For example, okay, there you go. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna ask, what is life for me ain't being no crystal stair? What is life for me ain't being. Okay, so for this person, life for me ain't being life. So I was correct. It means a hard life. Okay. Did my teacher say anything? I don't know. Okay, I also grabbed something to eat for a second. Okay, so it means life for me ain't been easy, so that's what it means. Okay, so for example, life for me has been no crystal stair. People had tough. How do you spell tough? Tough lifespans, tough situation. Yeah, situation. Guys, I'm a horrible speller. Okay, Google. Situation. I'm gonna use Google Translate maybe a little bit in this live stream. So, people had tough situations during life. Welcome back to the stream. During life.
How's everyone doing? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Just about done, Mother Erickson and Joseph and
I'm
Mary?
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool.
They already know it's me. Your life for me ain't being no crystal stairs. People who had tough situations during life. Trying to push themselves. And positive spells themselves correct. Themselves towards to something. Making sure I'm unmuted. Okay, themselves to something to achieve. I spell achieve wrong, I know. Achieve. There you go. Dealing with challenges. Let's get this one. Okay, so boy, don't you turn back. Let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna put that one right about here. For another example, which goes along, is question, quotation, paste, quotation. Okay. And then we're gonna do this, trying to push themselves into something to achieve. There you go. Okay, so there's one, which goes along. So boy. Okay. Tough situation during life. Yeah, let's pick one more. I think that's what my teacher really wants.
Alexa, stop. Okay, so that's Alexa letting us know that it's 12:21.
Okay, let's pick for
The period
IC.
ends at 12:24. If you finish what you're doing and need to get to your next
the
class,
last example
Go ahead.
is quotation, paste, quotation. For I seen still going honey, which means pushing, which means pushing. Sorry about my keyboard if it's too loud for you guys. For pushing yourself on. There you go. All this tells you is if you try, you can achieve anything you want. Nothing, and this is actually true, guys. Nothing is impossible to hold back. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna copy this. And then I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so and how do you think of this? Do you think it's a good poem? Like good ending for the poem?
Okay, let me look. Mm-hmm. The e-press. So help me out with an e-press. I can't see what you wrote. It went off the screen. I'm so happy Connor's back. That's good.
The last word is just hold back and period. That's actually all it is.
Can you reshare it because I can't? It's off my screen.
I didn't even share my screen yet. Hold on. I put it in chat. That's what I did.
Yeah, the chat. Oh, okay. Let me do. Okay, got it. I got it. Well, I like the quote. Okay, so a couple of things. Does the quote start with life and end with back, or do you have two quotes here?
I have 3 different quotes.
Okay, so you need to put page numbers after the quote. So is this quote going from life all the way down to back here? Is that one quote?
Life and goes to crystal stairs. It's also in quotations.
I know, but you have to cite the page number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a citation isn't just the quote. So here, I don't know what page number the poem is, but you would put parentheses in the page number.
Okay.
And this should be an S, situations. Right here. For anything example, which goes along is for, and I would take out anything for an example. So not anything, for an example. You know what I would do, Connor, with that? I would just put an example. I would take out all of this extra verbiage, which is confusing, and I would just put an example is.
Can I just say for example, say for
Yes,
an S?
yes, yeah. Take out anything for example, and then take out all that. And then again, a quote, a thing here for a page number.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. And let me know, because then I want to have this other sentence a little bit revised.
So where is this one? Don't turn back. Okay, it's right here. Number 14. I'm using a different keyboard if you're wondering.
That's okay.
So
I can hear it.
yeah, it's smaller.
That's okay. And then let me know when you're ready to talk about the next sentence, starting with trying.
Okay.
Okay, so we just need to clean this up. They try to push themselves to achieve something. So you got the right thought. You just your words are a little wordy.
To what?
So they try to push themselves to achieve something.
Okay, so did you put they are trying?
Yep, they are trying to push themselves to, and then instead of something here, it's to achieve something. So they are trying to push themselves
To achieve something.
to achieve something. So just, change the placement of the words.
Okay.
Oh, I love this next one too.
Yeah, I try to pick the better quotes because my mom actually read this before,
Oh, wow.
so
Okay.
I actually got a little bit of help and before, but I didn't really do this on like the common letter. I only did it on paper.
So I really like your thoughts. Just a little word cleanup. I do like all this tells you is that if you try, you can achieve anything you want. Nothing is impossible to hold back. So you have a choice. Nothing is impossible, end with a period, or nothing is impossible, so don't hold back.
Just say so don't. So that's
So nothing is impossible. You can end it right there with impossible. Or you can say nothing is impossible, so don't hold back.
yeah. I already changed it so to so don't.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is awesome. I've never used this word before, e-press, Connor. I'm impressed with that.
E-press.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard that word.
It was supposed to be an express.
Oh, express.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put
So-
I forgot to put an X in it. Sorry about that.
I'm like, e-press. Okay, that's something I haven't heard before. I do really like your quotes. Is this a Langston Hughes poem?
Yes.
I have a book, I must tell you, many years ago, and I'll show you it tomorrow on the screen. A young man, when I taught middle school, he and his mom at the end of the year gave me a Langston Hughes book of poems. I love them. Absolutely love them.
Nice.
That's all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, one question. When does the next class start?
Your next class starts now. So
Okay.
go.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay. And if you need an excuse, I'll give you one.
Yeah, could you give me one anyway? She left. Oh my, I didn't have time to I didn't even have time to finish what I was trying to say. Okay, here comes the next girl voice, if possible, okay? Okay, so what I need to do is just X out that. That's done. Okay, my next class is math. My favorite class, actually, of all time. It's actually the most funniest and at least nicest teacher. Not really. He's not really that funny, but for me, he's funny. Okay, let's join the Zoom. Guys, like, Tell me my camera's on. If it's on, that's gonna suck.
Am I supposed to say that? Am I not supposed to say that? It's like,
No, that's fine. I thought you were gonna say. Uh-oh, did he disappear now?
I'm here.
Oh,
What color are they, Mr. Locke?
Blue.
Okay.
Oh, boring.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's really comfortable.
If just one thing, if
And I slept until 6:40 today because I didn't have to drive to work.
Daring are we today?
Okay, so if Mr. Dunlap, my other teacher, tells me
Stop doing that.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Like, even if it gets me in trouble, I'm gonna put it out there for you guys. But I'm gonna just do that, okay? So stay tuned if that actually happens. So
It's all right.
well, I have actually 3 monitors at school, so that makes it so much nicer.
I had to look what I had to do. I hooked a TV up right here. This is a mini TV. So I'm all set up, ready to go.
Nice.
They're bugging me for a tour though, Mr. Dunlap.
Is that the addition you built?
No, this was part of the original house. This one right here.
Okay.
This room, yeah.
okay, you guys ready?
I'm higher.
All right, we're up to 22. What's our magic number? 26.
26.
Mr. Locke, if I give you a room tour, can we have a room tour of your house?
Oh, Sean is.
A
Sean is on.
room
Okay.
tour.
He's on.
Wow.
Good idea.
Oh my gosh.
My room is very nice.
He don't even care.
Yeah, we'd know that if you left your camera on once in a while.
Wait, I unplugged my camera and I wasn't.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Wait, okay, if I unplug this, let me see if I can even do this. I unplug this and I unplug. Wait, I gotta move you guys over. I moved you over. Okay, there you are here. All right, I see you all here. And I unplug this and I unplug this. Okay. All right, let's see.
Guys, you
Can I
see
do
my
this? Let me see.
profile, right? That's my old.
Don't move too
YouTube
fast.
profile.
You'll make us dizzy.
I'll make you dizzy. Okay. All right. Here we go. I gotta take you for a walk. Oh wait, hang on. I gotta fix the camera here.
I think
Mr. Dunlap, can you not let people in? Can you let people in?
I don't see anyone waiting though.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Wait. How is this camera gonna work?
I don't know, but I think your
Anything?
criteria, you should require everyone to have their camera on if they want a room tour of you.
Oh yeah. If you want a tour, yeah. Okay.
All
tour.
cameras must be.
Tour. Is it upside down?
Yeah, it's upside down.
Wait. This is really hard to do with a webcam.
Oh, you got it now.
All right, fine. Okay. I'm leaving my office. Okay. This is just the hallway. All right. Clock, great. Door. Okay, fine. It's not that interesting. Dining room. Okay.
That's nice.
Dining room. And kitchen. Yeah, see, kitchen. Yeah, fine. And then this is living room. Done. That's the end.
Nice colors.
You have
I
a
didn't
nice
pick them out.
clock.
What? Yeah, all right. I'm going back to the office now. I got work to do.
They know. They know.
I got work.
it's me.
Window. Look, it's so nice outside. I think I'm gonna go for a walk today after class. What do you think?
Can you take us with you?
You coming with me? All right. Turning back around. All right. There's your tour. There. Now I can't say I never did anything nice for you.
Hey, Mr. Locke, you want to see my room?
Sure.
All right. So this is where my dog sleeps. Very nice.
That's where your dog sleeps. Okay.
Those are my shoes, some of them. That's my
You have a lot of
Xbox
shoes.
and PlayStation. And that's
Your
my
parents let you have a PlayStation in your room?
Yeah.
Wow, you're so lucky.
I also have a PlayStation in my room.
You're so lucky.
Nice Reese's Puff box in your room, Nick.
It's the Travis Scott one.
All right. Okay, so let's take a moment to go over our homework assignment. You ready to go over your homework assignment? It was pretty easy. I hope it was easy. Okay. I have a pretty decent setup here. I'm hoping you're gonna be okay hearing me
Guys,
teach
I
from
feel
here.
all about the
My handwriting is not great because I have to use this crazy virtual pad because I don't have my smartboard. So just bear with me. Tell me if my handwriting's getting too crazy. And it's like, oh, Mr. Locke, you got to rewrite that, okay? But we're going to make this work the best we can. I appreciate your flexibility as always. I'm going to try a screen share right here. Can you see the homework from last night that I posted? Can you see that?
Yes.
Great, perfect. Okay, let's go through here. I'm just going to go in order of how you guys are on the screen here. Let's see how this works, okay? All right, so the first one, I wanted to know here, if 3x plus 2 equals 8, then why is 3x equals 6? So Cameron, and number one, why do you go from this step to this step? What's the shortcut on both sides?
-3. I'm just kidding. Minus 3.
Cameron, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking for my homework because I couldn't remember if I turned it in, but I did.
Oh, okay. Everybody make sure you have your homework out in front of you. We're going to take a minute to go over it. All right, Cameron, what do you think? What do I do to get from the if to the then? What do you do
You
to
subtract 2.
Yeah, subtract 2. So we just call that the subtraction POE, property of equality, okay, to get from that if to that then. Good. Nick, how about you, Nick? Number 2, you're next. How do you get from 3x equals 6 to x equals 2?
Guys,
Divide by 3.
Yeah, that's division, POE. Very good. Division, POE. Okay. How about number 3? This is a new one we learned yesterday. Okay. Danny, how do you get from x squared equals 9 to x equals 3 or negative 3? What do you do to both sides?
You square root it.
That's called the square root, POE. Okay. Number 4. This one's a little weird. Look at this one. This one's a little strange. Okay. Connor Erickson, how do you get from this if to this then? What are you doing on both sides of the equation, Connor?
Is it subtract by 3?
It's not subtract by 3 because 15 went. Oh, Connor, if you went the other way, if you went this way, it would be subtract by 3. You have to go opposite because you're going the other way. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of subtract by 3, what do you do to both sides?
Subtract 15?
Okay. Well, how do you get from 15? How does 15 turn to 18? What do you do to get from 15 to 18?
Oh, add 3.
Yeah, you're adding 3, dude. That's the addition, POE. If I would do the converse of that, Connor, if I did the converse, then it would be subtraction. So I know you're used to looking at it the other way. Make sure you do it first, the then second. All right, buddy?
Okay.
That was a tough one. That's going to kind of be the same thing in number 5 here. So Tessa, how do we get from 7 equals x to 2x equals 14? What do you do to both sides to get from the if to the then, Tessa?
Multiplication.
Woo! It is the multiplication. POE, because you do that on both sides. Tessa, what are you multiplying by? In case everybody's like, what are we multiplying by? What are you multiplying by, Tessa?
7.
Oh, come on. This
How do you get from 7 to
2.
sucks.
times 2? Yeah, good. James, you're up, James. Number 6. What do you do to get from this if to this then? What are you doing to both sides, James?
Multiplying.
Well, yeah, but it's a special type of multiplying. What kind of multiplying is that?
I forget the name.
You forget the name of it? Cameron, what's the name of it?
Distribution.
Is it the distributive property?
Yeah, James, that is distribution is a type of multiplication. That is true. But when you multiply to two terms like that, when you get rid of that parentheses, James, remember I taught you distributive property last year?
I do.
That property a lot, right? Okay, you do your distribution, no big deal. Okay. Hallie, number 7, Hallie, how do you get from this to this?
Subtraction.
Yeah, subtraction by what, Hallie?
3.
Good. Subtraction. A POE. Number 8. This is that new one again. Lucas Campbell. How do you get from this to this, Lucas Campbell?
Square root.
Dude, I know a couple people probably will laugh,
would be
but they'll just
square
laugh off
root.
mic.
Yeah, you take the square root of 64, which has 2 answers. That's the square root. POE. Okay. Number 9. This one's a little tricky. Sean, you're up. Number 9, Sean. How do you get from this step to this step?
Oh, this one I
put square root POE.
So did you actually take a square root though? That would be your next step. But Sean, get from here to here. Did you actually
It's
square root?
division.
It's division, yeah. Your next step would be square root, Sean. Then you would take the square root of 81. Do you know, Sean, do you know what the square root of 81 is?
9.
No.
No, you don't know? Dude, you don't know square root of 81? What times itself gives you 81?
I don't know.
You don't know? Somebody help him, please.
9.
9. Keep Connor.
Oh, wow. Good job, Danny Flynn.
You're
welcome, Molasses.
That was Connor. Connor unmuted and looked like he was going to jump in there, okay? Yeah, this is just division. It's a trickster. You didn't actually take a square root. This is the division, POE. How about number 10? This was a little different. Number 10. Helena, what did you say for number 10? Helena, you there? There you are.
Subtraction.
Subtraction. You didn't take away anything from both sides, Helena. You didn't quite take away.
Division.
What did you do instead? Take a look.
Multiplication.
Yeah, you multiply by 4. 16 times 4 is 64. It is multiplication. The multiplication, a POE again. Number 11, Sawyer. What do we do, Sawyer, to get from here to here? What do you do to both sides, Sawyer?
Multiplication.
Multiplication by what, dude? Multiplication by what?
I forget.
What'd you multiply by? Look. How did this 12 become a 36?
Oh, 3.
3. Yeah, sure. 3. Exactly.
Sorry, I was
Rebecca,
looking at
number 12.
I was like, what the heck?
Rebecca, how do you get from here to here, Rebecca?
Subtraction.
Good. Subtraction. POE. Very good.
I hate this pencil
Who's
so
next?
much.
Josh Reese. Josh Reese, number 13. How do I get from this statement to this statement? What did you do to this side of the equation?
Is that a distributive property?
Again, it's distributive. Good. Distribution.
number 16 is
Distributive. That one's just a property, not a POE. Okay. Sully, you got the hardest one on the page, man. I'm so sorry. You ready, Sully?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, this one's pretty rough. Okay. All right. You've got 7 divided by x plus 2 equals 12, which changes to 7 equals 12 times x plus 2. So what did we do to both sides of that equation?
Would you get rid of the parentheses first?
Yeah. If we were going to keep solving, your next step would be distribution. You're right. But Sully,
Okay,
how do
so
you go from this step to this step?
would it be division?
You are already dividing, right? You see how this is division
Oh,
already?
so multiplication.
Yeah, it changes the multiplication because you're multiplying both sides by x plus 2. That's a pretty tough one, okay? But that's the multiplication POE, okay? Josh Rattay, number 15.
Is it square root?
Yeah, now Josh, 7. Is 7 a perfect square? Is there a nice number times itself that gives you 7?
No.
No.
Josh or Tay? No, that's why they left it as square root of 7. You see what I mean? That's some decimal. It's a nasty decimal, 2 point something. Okay, it's not a great decimal. All right, so this, you're right. This is the square root property. And then who's after Josh? Day. Day, you're gonna do the last one. Day, how do you get from this to this? What do you do to both sides?
Distributive property.
Well, actually, one side. I said that wrong. Yeah, it's distribution. Distributive property. Okay. Good.
Sorry about
Nice.
the lag on his screen.
All right. So, we were starting our journey into proofwriting. Mr. Dunlap, you weren't here yesterday. We were starting our journey into proofwriting. I said today is a big day because, you know, it's like I said, it's like a milestone. Like you're going to remember, oh, when was the first time you took your first step? When was the first time you drove the car? When was the first time you voted? When was the first time you wrote a geometry proof? It is a big step in your life, writing your first geometry proof. And so we did it through the lens yesterday of algebra. We were actually writing algebraic proofs. Today, we're going to jump into what about proof writing through the lens of geometry. So that's what we're going to work on today, everybody. I'm going to give you a second to pull out your packet. You should have it pulled out already. You can flip over to the next page. If you need to print out notes, it is posted for you on the Google Classroom, or Mr. Dunlap just put it on the chat for you. Thank you very much. And you can print that out, or you can go old school notebook. You can always go old school notebook and you'll still be fine, okay? Are you guys ready to do, maybe we'll do like 2 proofs today. All right, now before we get started, okay? And Mr. Dunlap can attest to this. You know, proofwriting can be a little challenging, okay? It's not the easiest thing we do this year. It's one of the more challenging things we do, but I want you to know that it's okay if you are like, I don't feel like I could write a whole proof on my own. I'm never going to make you do that, okay? I'm not going to make you write a whole proof on your own right now. You're not going to have to worry about that. What I really want you to focus on today is, do you understand how MLOC is going from step 1 to step 2 to step 3? Like, I don't expect you to write them on your own, but I do expect you to be like, okay, I understand why the reason is this statement. And I understand the reason to this statement. I want you to understand it in pieces, in steps, because it gets a little overwhelming. And I don't want you to feel like, you know, you're overwhelmed with this right now. I want you just to take it step by step and be like, okay, do I understand this step? Yes. Okay, do I understand this step? Yes. I'm going to take my time trying to explain things really clearly for you. So you could really have a good understanding. I would just be happy if you like understood proofs from start to finish, like this whole part of the chapter. If you could be like, oh yeah, I could do like those 2 proofs. That would make me really happy. All right. I'm just going to take you through them very systematically. But before we get to any proof writing, I'm going to use 2 postulates. Now, Mr. Dunlap was not here yesterday. And maybe you need to look back, but we need to remind ourselves, what is a postulate? So Colin, you may have to flip back, Colin, to the previous page. Colin, how did I define a postulate yesterday?
Give me a second.
Sure, go ahead. Flip back 2 pages.
A statement that is true with no facts and is just accepted as true within geometry.
That's true. Good. It's something we accept. Okay. It's just like, you're just going to have to accept this as true. You know, we don't need to prove it. We accept it as true. It's kind of like that thing that your parents do that you find really, really annoying. Okay. Like for instance, you ask your parents to do something. They say no, you say why. And then what do they say in return? What's the end of that exchange between you and your parents? Mom, I want my curfew extended. Kid, no. Kid, I want my curfew extended. Mom, no. Kid, why? Mom says, what does mom say in response to that? Always.
Because I said so.
What is it, Cameron?
Because I said so.
Because I said so. No explanation. You should be like, Mom, this isn't a postulate. Okay. I need a proof. Mom, this isn't postulate time. I want a proof. You're going to prove it to me why I can't have an extended curfew. It's theorem time, Mom. It's theorem. Man, then you'll really throw her off. You'll throw her for a loop then. All right. Postulates we just accept as true because I said so. It's accept. Now, can you prove postulates? You can. They're very hard to prove. Like I did that in college, a few postulates. They took 3 pages of proof. I mean, I loved it. I was in all my glory. I loved it, but we're going to accept it as true. Okay. So the first postulate we're going to look at today is a linear pair postulate. And here's what it says. If 2 angles are linear pairs,
don't break on me, pencil. Don't.
Then they are supplementary. Then they are supplementary. That is your linear pair postulate. Now, look, this is what it looks like in a picture, okay? If you've got 2 linear pairs, this is angle 1 and this is angle 2. We know those add to 180. We've been talking about that a lot this year, okay? The measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. I'm going to tell you right now, you all just need to accept that as true. Sorry, accept it as true. I'm not going to prove it. I need you just to accept that as a true statement, okay? And I hope you all can agree that these two that are next to each other sharing the same line do add up to 180. That is our first postulate for today. Our second postulate is called the corresponding angle postulate. Here's what it says. If 2 parallel lines are cut
geometry
by a transversal,
what this is, okay? I still don't even understand this at all.
Then the corresponding angles are congruent. Then the corresponding angles are congruent. Give you a second to write that down. If 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. This is going to be something that we just accept as true. I'm accepting it. You're going to accept it too because I said so. Because Mr. Locke said so, it's true. So look right here. I'll give you a little picture. Here's 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. Now, it's been a while since we've done this. Corresponding angles would be 1 inside, 1 outside in corresponding positions. Mr. Dunlap, how did you explain that to them when we taught this?
Same spot, but at a different intersection.
Same spot, different intersection. 2 intersections, but the same position.
Like your classroom is what number?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. B617.
617. So your classroom corresponds to 517 and 417.
That is on a different floor. Okay. Yep. All right. So these are the 2 postulates we're going to use to get together today in order to prove some theorems. Okay. Now, Mr. Dunlap wasn't here yesterday, so he needs a reminder about what a theorem is. So Presley, go back to the previous first page of this packet, Presley. What did we define a theorem as yesterday? Go. Presley, can you hear me? I saw you unmuted.
Dude, I look like I'm frozen right there.
Mike must not be working, Presley. No, Presley, your mic isn't working again today. Oh, no. All right. Lucas Mariani, go back to yesterday's notes. How do we define a theorem? Nothing from Lucas. Lucas, can you hear me? Oh boy. All right. Let's try third one. Day, can you go back and remind us what the definition of a theorem was, Day?
Yeah.
Thank you.
A statement in geometry that must be proven using deductive reason.
I had to.
So we're going to prove theorems, Day. To prove it, we're going to use it. Okay, we're going to prove theorems. And I'm going to prove one theorem for you today. Actually, two theorems. All right, here's our first theorem in geometry. All right, the vertical angles theorem. And here's what it says. Let's look at what this statement says. If two angles are vertical, then they have equal measures. Then they're the same measurement. Okay, so look at this picture right here. Tessa, do you remember in this picture that I have numbered are vertical? What pair would be vertical that I have numbered?
I would say, wouldn't it be the one under 3 though, but it's not numbered? Or the...
Okay, sure. It would be 3 and 4 if we were going to number it. Or also, what about the ones that are there?
Could 1 and 2 work? Or...
Yes, those are vertical angles, Tessa. They're vertical angles. And we said that they were equal in measure. We're going to prove that now, Tessa. We just kind of said it before, but now I'm going to prove it to you. We're going to prove it so we can use this. I got to prove it so I can use it. Okay? Sorry, I got to shut that clock off. It's a little annoying. All right. So here we go. First step from yesterday. What always goes on your first line, Sawyer? What do we always put in the first line of a proof? Everybody better get this right every time, Sawyer. What's the first line?
The given.
The given. All right. So Sawyer, we're given angle 1 and angle 2 are verticals. We're given those vertical angles. And I made Tessa even identify them in our picture. 1 and 2 are vertical. Okay. That's we're given. Great. Nobody ever misses this point. If you miss this point, I don't know what's going on because I give it to you every time. I'm like, what is going on? I give you the first line every time. Now, remember what I told you. I'll never make you do this on your own. I'll give you some steps to help you out. So let's look at our next step here. Step 2. Josh Rattay, I want to know, Josh, what do 1 and 3 add up to? I'm going to highlight them for you so you see them. What happens when you add 1 and 3 together, Josh? How much do you get overall?
4.
Yeah. That's their names, Josh. But what about their measurements?
Oh, 180.
Yeah, 180. Don't worry, Josh. Last period, they did the same thing. I was like, what's angle 1 plus angle 3? They're like, angle 4. I'm like, that's their names. All right, so 180 degrees. Perfect. All right, thank you, Josh. All right, next. I want to know what does 2 and 3 add up to this time? 2 and 3. So I want to talk to Sully. Sully, look at my picture, Sully. What does angle 2 and angle 3 add up to, Sully?
180.
180 again. Good. Now, here's the question. How did those boys know that they add up to 180? What allows me to say that they added to 180? So, Rebecca, I want you to look up here, Rebecca. We wrote down 2 postulates. What postulate relates to this step right here?
The linear pair.
And read it to us so everybody hears it again, Rebecca. Read it to us.
If two angles are linear pairs, then they are supplementary.
So, Rebecca, are these linear pairs right here, 1 and 3?
Yeah.
Yep. Are 2 and 3 linear pairs, Rebecca?
Yes.
Yep. Therefore, what do they do? Add up to?
180.
180 because of the linear pair postulate. Now, I want you all to look at this and see if that's something you can agree with. That 1 and 3 add to 180, that 2 and 3 add to 180, and the reason is the linear pair postulate. You see how I'm connecting that postulate to the line in the proof, okay? I don't expect you to come up and write this on your own. But I do expect you to look at this and say, okay, why is that true? Because the linear pair postulate. And Mr. Dunlap, I was telling everybody yesterday, I created for them a postulate and theorem cheat sheet.
Wow, that's nice.
All in one place. And that will be our special study guide that we use when we eventually take a test. That'll be our special study guide that we use while we take our test. So I'm never going to make anybody memorize all of this without having some type of nice reference for yourself, okay?
I don't care about those peepers.
All right, now let's look at how do we get them from step 2 to step 3. So I want you to look at these two sentences right here. I'm going to highlight them for you. 1 plus 3 equals 180, and then 1 equals 180 minus 3. So my question is, this goes to our homework last night. Oh my gosh, this connects exactly to our homework last night. How do I get from here to here, Danny Flynn? What am I doing to get from this line to this line? What did I do to both sides of the equation?
Subtract 3.
Which line? Which line? I didn't have the zoom leaning up.
Okay, look, ready? I'll draw the arrow again. Ready? It's from, I'm going to draw the arrow in blue. From this to this. If this, then this. If that was in your homework last night, what reason would you give me? If this, then this.
Oh, you had to you're subtracting angle 3.
Good. It's the subtraction.
Knew it.
POE.
Knew
and
it.
I want you to put parentheses. You subtracted
my mic was
measure of
unmuted.
angle 3. You did that in the green, and you also did it with the blue, which is this line and this line go together. Okay? You're subtracting measure of angle 3 from both of those equations. Good job, Janny. Way to pick that out. Okay, that's not an easy thing to pick out. All right, we took the subtraction property. Now that I showed it to you and Danny told it to you, here's the question I want you to ask yourself. Do you see it? Do you see the subtraction of angle 3 on both sides?
Not really.
Okay, that's what I want you to do today. Look at a line and pick out a reason. Now, how do I go from reason 3 down to 4? Now, this is something new. Ding, ding, ding. Extra attention alert. This is something new that you've never done before. Okay.
180.
All right. Wait. I need to erase my.
Angle
I need to
2 and
erase my.
angle 3.
I need to erase my highlighting.
Wait, no.
Where's my eraser?
Yeah. I'm doing.
Eraser.
Yeah.
Where the heck is
I'm
my
correct.
eraser?
I'm correct. Angle 2 to angle 3. That's
Oh,
what
there
I
it
guess.
is.
Yes.
Let me get rid of this.
So, dividing.
Okay, now I want you to pay close attention. This is something that was new for us. Okay, I want you to look right here.
Imagine I'm correct.
What is true about 180 minus 3 and 180 minus angle 3? What's true about these two quantities? Okay, I want to talk to Helena. Helena, what's true about 180 minus angle 3 and 180 minus angle 3? What's true about those two yellow things I highlighted?
They're the same.
Exactly. Now, Helena, if these yellows are the same, what can you conclude about these greens?
That they're the same too.
Good. Nice job, Helena. Now, Helena, do you remember from yesterday's class, what do you always get to write in the last line of the proof?
I forget.
Look right here.
Dividing.
Oh, prove.
What you're trying to prove. Okay. What you're trying. Well, my screen just froze. Oh. My screen just froze. Wait a second. Wait. Technical difficulties. I can't write. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Can I write with something else? Oh no. Is this where I have to charge the battery thing? There's supposed to be, I've never charged it before. Maybe the battery is out. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna do that? Oh man, Mr. Dunlap. I am so screwed. Oh man, am I screwed. Okay. Wait a second. All right, let me see if I can do this. Okay, all right, so what always goes in the last line? Dang, I'm at a loss. Okay, what can I do here?
What
I'm
died?
gonna make a text box.
What stopped working?
My pen on my pad. This pen, it stopped
Oh,
working.
on your sketch pad.
On my sketch pad, yeah.
Yeah, can you insert a text box?
Yeah, I'm going to try to insert a text box. Okay. Oh, this is just
right with the cursor.
What's
Click
that?
on the colors and write with the cursor.
Well, how in the world am I going to write with the? You know how hard that is, Sean? Oh my gosh, you kidding me? You want me to be able to write like this? Man, I can't do it. There's no way I can do it. Okay. All right. So down here, we're going to say the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2. That is always what you're trying to prove. Now, you're never allowed to write prove in here. This reason is something new. If it's kind of like our chain rule that we were studying before. If 1 equals 180 minus measure of 3 and 2 equals 180 minus 3, the reason we're going to use is something called the transitive property.
Hate that.
Okay, it's called the transitive property. And here's what it says. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. It's like the flying problem. If I fly from Pittsburgh to Denver and Denver to Los Angeles, what was my trip, Cameron, that I went on? If I fly from Pittsburgh to Denver, Denver to Los Angeles, where did I go?
I'm positive that's like at least
from Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
9
Do we have to
hours.
stop at Denver, the middleman? No, you don't have
don't
to.
know.
So the
If it's on train, it's
middleman
9
here
hours,
is this
but-
part that Helena told me, 180 minus measure of angle 3. If they're both equal, if 1 and 2 are both equal to that yellow quantities, those yellow quantities, then they're equal to each other. That's called the transitive property. Okay, it's called the transitive property. We're going to be using this transitive property a few
Guys,
different
what do you
times.
guys want me to do for my
Okay,
next
I'm going to do
video?
one
Like, it's
more
up to you
proof
guys.
with
Want me to
you
do-
today, since my technology
You guys
is
want me to
failing
do
a little
voice
bit. We're gonna
trolls
do one
or
more
something
proof.
else?
I'd like to prove to you the the alternate interior angles theorem, which says this. If you have 2 parallel lines cut by transversal, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? Now, this particular proof, I'm going to be giving you that M is parallel to N. That's what I'm going to give you. M is parallel to N. So here we go. Your first line of your proof, you know what that's going to be every single time. Your first line is going to be your given. M is parallel to N. And the reason is that is given to us. All right, we're given parallel lines. What is our goal? Our goal is to prove that the alternate interior angles are congruent. Now let's see what you remember about alternate interior angles. Josh Rattay, I want you to look at this picture right here, Josh, that I'm pointing to. Josh, which pair of numbers are the alternate interior angles? Out of 1, 2, and 3, what pair, Josh, are alternate interiors?
1 and 2.
Good. Our goal, Josh, is to prove that they're equal. So our goal is to show that 1 and 2 are the same. Okay, that they are congruent to each other. All right, so we're going to prove that these 2 angles right here are the same, 1 and 2. Okay, well, let's first look at what they tell us in line 2. Why are 1 and 3 equal to each other? What kind of pair are those angles? Sean Kaufman, do you remember which pair these are, 1 and 3? What are they called?
Aren't they corresponding?
They're corresponding. And Sean, I want to scroll up here, Sean. What did I say up here, Sean, in today's lesson? What did I say? Read this out loud to everybody. If
2 parallel lines are cut by transversal, then the corresponding angle,
oh, sorry. Then the corresponding angles are
congruent.
congruent. And what's that called, Sean?
The corresponding angle postulate.
So we can say, Sean, that 1 and 3 are congruent by the corresponding angles postulate. This is called the corresponding angles postulate. I'm going to abbreviate postulate. Is that okay? All right. We could say that 1 and 3, since they're corresponding angles, they're congruent by that postulate. Okay. I'm using that postulate that I defined in my proof. Now look at my next line. My next line says, okay, something is true because of the vertical angle theorem. Look at this picture right here. Hallie Dameron. Hallie, which pair are vertical angles in my picture, Hallie? Out of the three that I have labeled, give me the pair that are vertical angles.
It's not 3 or was it 1 and 3?
1 and 3. Those are the corresponding angles that Sean was just talking about.
It's 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Do you see how they're opposite each other verticals? And then Hallie, what did we just prove about that? We just proved that those angles are what?
Or
Right here.
Equal.
What did we just prove about? What did we just prove in this previous proof about 1 and 2? We proved that they are what?
They're equal.
They're equal. Good. So what can we say about 2 and 3 then, Hallie? They are what?
They're equal.
They're equal. Good. Okay. So in this particular box, we're going to go ahead and write in that. We're going to write in that angle 2 is congruent. Use your congruent symbol, please, to angle 3. Please use your congruent symbol. Put a little swirl on the top of it, okay? I can't put the swirl on there. You can put the swirl on there. They're equal, okay? Now, our final step. We always know what goes down here. Another like given is always like the prove goes down here. We know that our last step is going to be 1 is congruent to 2. But why? Okay. So I want you to look at these two steps together. If I say 1 is the same as 3 and 2 is the same as 3, what do you say about 1 and 2? 2 is the same. I'm sorry. 1 is the same as 3. 2 is the same as 3. What can you conclude about 1 and 2? Tessa, what can you conclude about 1 and 2? If 1 is the same as 3 and 2 is the same as 3, what's true about 1 and 2?
They're the same.
They're the same. Good. So your last line in your proof is going to be that angle, what was it? Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And now, Tessa, why is that really good? What are we trying to prove, Tessa? Look right here. What are we trying to prove?
Angle 1 is equal to angle 2.
And that's good. Now, Tessa, do you remember what these angles are called? 1 and 2. What are they called again?
Corresponding angles.
Not corresponding. Look at them again.
Vertical, alternate interior.
Those are alternate interiors. We're trying to prove that they're true. Now, why can we do that? Well, we're essentially going to put these two steps right here. These two steps together. Sean, I'm using my cursor now. Look, I can do that at least. Okay, we're going to put these two steps together to get me this step. What was that new property that I just told you about to help you combine those two steps? That's like flying. It's like the chain rule. What was that new property called? Do you remember, Nick, what that property is called that allows you to put those two steps together?
No.
No. Look at your previous proof, Nick.
Corresponding angles.
Not corresponding angles. What allows us to put two things that are equal itself to set equal to each other? If two things are equal to the same thing, then they're equal to each other. The reason why we can say that is because of the
transitive property.
That's called the transitive property. Now, Nick, when you put this in your proof, here's what I want you to do. You're going to say transitive property, but then you're going to put in parentheses from steps 2 and 3. You're putting those two steps together, 2 and 3. All right, we're using step 2 and 3, combining them and calling that the transitive property from steps 2
So if I was ever going to
and
do vlogs, I would start my
3.
interest somewhere around
The
here,
transitive
after my
property.
background.
Okay?
So
Now, this is new for you. I hope you were able to at least follow my steps in my reasoning as I go from one step to the next step. We're not ready to try anything on our own yet, so I'm not going to assign you a homework assignment tonight. Okay? You're going to take the night off, but tomorrow we're going to pick up with practicing with writing these steps and understanding how to get from line 1 to line 2 to line 3. That's all I have for you today. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here online tomorrow. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for your patience. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you. Have a good day.
Hi.
Hi, somebody trying to talk to me?
Yeah, hi.
Connor, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Connor. Goodbye, Connor. Goodbye.
See ya.
I'm positive my English teacher won't like me doing this because she's definitely gonna like tell me to stop it. But I don't know. Let's just see. Okay. Hop in my English class. History teacher. I don't know. Like I don't know how she's gonna react. Okay. Just realized this right here.
Hi.
The teacher said, okay, I have the girl voice now in my head. My voice. So the teacher said, is anyone trying to talk to me? Said,
Yeah, me.
if you guys want, I can try to do a vlog in school and upload it to my channel on this channel, and just in general see how good you guys enjoy my vlogs. If you guys want me to do more vlogs, like I would try. Like I'm gonna be doing one like just walking my dog and just talking to you guys in general. Like if you guys have any comments and stuff like that. But other than that, that's gonna be all. Maybe just bring you guys along what I usually do, but mostly all I really do is just sit in my room, play games, record for you guys, live stream. That's kind of all I do, and sometimes do school. But if you guys want, I can bring you guys along next week, just in school in general. I can't really do my welding because I can't just take you guys into a welding booth because you guys don't have a welding math, so I'm pretty positive. If anyone out there who actually watches my videos who actually is into welding, you guys will know there's gonna be a bright light in front of you, and that's definitely gonna like burn your eyes or blind you. So I prefer not to do that. So I might do that in like my main school. So to let you guys know that. But I might actually bring vlogs back. Vlog black. I mean, that's fantastic what I just said. Yeah, I'm gonna go live, okay? Go live on Instagram, so if you guys wanna go check me out. So I don't know, like, so when does school start? Okay, so she's putting that on.
Hi, Connor. No, that clock is wrong. It's
Hi.
123.
What is it?
123.
Connor's messing with his voice.
I know. Connor is messing with his voice. Don't do that, Connor. And here's why.
What?
Listen, while we're here, our new student who joins us, his voice is very high, and he might think that you're making fun of him, even though I don't think you are.
Okay.
Okay, so fix it. Don't do that, because otherwise, you don't want someone to think you're making fun of them. That would be terrible.
Okay.
Okay, but you're still doing it, so fix it. Even though it does make Mary laugh. All right. I got all three of you guys. I got your common lists. Nice job.
So wait, if we did the common lit, we don't have to do the ACE common lit, right?
Right. You did it. If you did it and you followed the ACE format and you did it in the common lit, then you're fine. And I checked yours. You followed the format, so you're good.
Okay.
I did the common lit and then did the ACE.
Yep, you're good too. That works too. Either way works. I like to give you guys the option of using that ACE format because it plots it out for you and it gives you a little structure. And sometimes it's easier to type it there.
Wait, who's the new student?
Hayden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll hear him. He does pop in a little bit. He never turns his camera on, but he does pop in. Mary, I got your comment lit too. You did a nice job. You used evidence. Next time, try and do 2 quotes, right? So our goal is like you have your assertion, then a quote, and you explain it, then another quote, and you explain it, then you wrap it up. But you had a good start, so nice job. I'll put it in the grade book after I'm done with class today. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. While you guys are waiting for people to pop in, there is a bell ringer. If you didn't do it already, pop into the Google Classroom, and there is something that says Thursday bell ringer. And don't be worried if you don't know the answers to this, because this is just something new that we haven't done yet. And I just want to see what people already know.
Okay. Also, I have a question.
Yeah.
It's not a question for school, but I'm just wondering, how good do you think my girl voice is?
It was pretty good.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty good. And it didn't sound like you at all. So if you were trying to hide your voice, then you did a good job of it.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yes, stop it though.
Okay. Well, at least my girl impression is doing good now.
Like, oh my gosh, like, that's fantastic.
All right, class starts at 1:24, right? Yep.
Yeah. It starts
25.
at 24.
Where is everybody? I bet if I start marking people absent, they show up.
If we start marking people absent, they show up.
Well, there's one.
Okay, let's set the bell ringer. Oh, fantastic.
Howdy, howdy.
I don't know
So
any
my
of
last
this.
period,
Yeah.
which is history,
Yeah.
I accidentally joined my math class, and I was like, wait a second, how did I get here? And my math teacher's like, yeah, I'm asking the same thing.
It's funny how that happens, right? Because that's never ever going to happen if you're in the building. You're not going to go to the whole wrong room, but it's so easy to click on the wrong thing. Will, I got your comment lit. Nice job.
Well, sometimes if you're not paying attention, you might go into the room next to, like...
True. But that's rare, I would think.
It happened to me before.
Did it happen to you? Oh
Yeah,
my
Going
goodness.
into the wrong...
Yeah, it happened to me like 3 weeks ago.
All right.
I
Hi,
think
Travis.
it happened like a couple times, not like
Hello.
too many times, like 1 or 2 times last year, where I would like walk into the room. Like the teacher didn't notice. I walk in, I'm like, wait a second, this is not the classroom.
Oh, gracious. So, my friends, if you're just joining, please go to Google Classroom. We have one, just a
What
quick
does the L stand
little
for?
assessment. It's just for me to get a preview
I actually
of
don't
what
know.
you already
Emotion?
know about
Okay, hold on. I don't know. Energy,
Um,
emotion.
direct and indirect characterization.
Uh-huh.
So it's not something that I've taught you before. So you
Theme.
might not know the answer. So just make your best guess if you don't know.
I actually have a better idea.
Okay, so everybody
This is
should be
cheating.
right
That's
now
cheating.
going
If it
to their
works.
Google Classroom and oh, let me let Oliver in. Hang on. There we go. All right. There we go. Now we've got everybody. Hey.
It works. Okay, so it's speech.
All right, my friends. Wait, there's Joe.
Thought.
All right. Everybody, please go to Google Classroom. And in Google Classroom,
And others.
there is a
Action.
bell ringer for Thursday. You might not know
And
some of it. That's okay. Just do that bell ringer anyway. What we're going to do today, I'll tell you while you are doing your bell ringer. What we are going to do today is we are going to talk a little bit about characterization. And then we're going to read, I thought we were going to read all of the rest of chapter 2 of Mice and Men, but as it turns out, I didn't get through it all during 5th period, and so I doubt I'll get through it all during 7th
Guys,
period,
if
and
you
that's
guys
okay.
want,
We'll finish
I'm
it
gonna be
tomorrow.
using
no
this
big deal.
Chromebook to edit my videos
All right.
as
So,
possible.
Everybody
But-
should be working on the bell ringer for Thursday in Google
Welcome to the
Classroom.
stream.
I can see that Connor, Hayden, Jackson S, Oliver, and Travis already turned it in. Nice job.
Ow. I can't believe I hit my head off of that.
Wow, I guessed for like most of these, and I got like only one wrong.
Oh, well, good.
Which one was it? Was it the speech?
It was for T. I guessed theme, but it was actually thought.
Yeah,
Thought that might trick some people.
I got them all correct.
Good job.
No, not
All right,
really.
a few more people are finishing up.
I
so
only
go
did
ahead
one
and
of them.
finish that
I
up.
only did one of them.
Like I said,
actually.
it's not like a test quiz
But
or anything like that. It's just what I just want to be able to
when it comes
see
to
what
like,
you already
comment-
know about
comment lit
that,
or
so that I know
Google Docs, I would
what
rather
things for us
cheat,
to go
but
over. So don't spend a long
sometimes you
time
can't
on
find
it. Let me
answers to it.
refresh and see who's turned in.
You guys want to? You guys can put in the comments to cheat.
Oh, almost everybody. All right. So Mary and Josh S. Make sure you get that turned in. All right. While Mary and Josh S. are finishing up, what I want you guys to do, I'm going to share my screen here in a second, but what I want you guys to do, come on, share screen.
Thank you for subscribing, Jackson.
Sorry.
Shelley.
This is not going the way I wanted it to here.
Sorry,
Share
it's
screen. There we
delayed on
go.
my screen, so.
Let's see. All right. You guys can see my objective there, right? Students will be able to identify 5 methods of characterization. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
I can't
All
do
right.
the girl voice.
Joe, I don't know if you were on when I said, but I did get your common lit in there much better. I'll put it in the grade book, so I have that. So just a quick reminder, check dashboard if you want to see what's missing that you can still turn in. If it's marked missing, you can still turn it into me. Oliver, I returned your ACE response just to fix something on, so you need to just fix that and resubmit it
Also,
to
how's
me,
your guys' day
and
going
then
so
finish
far?
your questions on common lit, okay? Hayden, I unsubmitted yours. You're just going to add a little bit after school, and then you'll resubmit that to me on common lit. What you have so far is good. Travis, you need to do common lit, and Jackson K, you need to do common lit from yesterday.
Oh shoot, were we supposed to submit the paragraph thing separately or whatever?
No, you had a choice. You could have either typed it in the common lit or you could do it separately. Some people like it that. You were fine, Will. Yours was good. All right. So we're going to move forward and we're going to find out if you'll get the correct answers for what STEAL stand for as we go through this. But our goal today is to talk about these methods of characterization. So the first thing I want you to do, and you don't need to put this in a writing section because we're not using a notebook or anything right now, is I just want you in your mind to think of a word or two. And if you want to write them down on a piece of paper, you can. Just a word or two that you would use to describe yourself. So pick a characteristic that you would use to describe yourself. Think about that for a second. You can write it down or you can just hold that in your mind. All right, so when I think about myself, I would pick the words patient. And if I pick 2 words, I would say patient and I am also a neat freak. Those are 2 things that I would use to describe myself. Now that you have a word or 2 to describe yourself, pick one of those. I'm going to pick neat freak and write an example of you demonstrating that characteristic. So I have my example on the board there. So my characteristic is that I'm a neat freak. And my example, the way I demonstrate that or show that is every day I clean up, I pick up, I dust, I vacuum my house. I clean things all the time. Okay. So I'm going to be calling on some people. And you're going to share with me the word you would use to describe yourself and what does that look like? So how would I know that? Does anybody want to volunteer to go first? Otherwise, I'll just start calling on people.
Sure.
Thanks.
I would say I'm helpful, and one helpful thing I did today, or just like an example, is that for my 3rd period class, I helped the teacher mostly fix her camera issues. We didn't how it was like kind of like almost like we were looking at a slideshow of her moving.
Nice. All right, perfect. So that's a characteristic and an example of it. Great. Somebody else want to volunteer to go next?
Could I do football?
Sure. So athletic?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so athletic. And what would be your example of being athletic?
Me playing football, juking everybody out.
There you go. Good, good. Juking everybody out of football is a good example of athletic. Perfect. Who wants to go next? Everybody's going, so I'm going to call on you eventually.
I'm just trying to figure out the word for like when you like are like I don't know, educating people, like showing people like entertainment.
Okay. So you're technologically savvy.
Sure.
That means, okay. So what's your example of being technologically savvy or technologically smart?
Giving answers to people.
Yeah, showing people how to do things technologically. Good. Good, Connor. Mary, what's a word that describes you?
Why is he even trying?
What's a characteristic you have?
I'm just trying to work on this page 12 and page 13.
Did you say me?
No, but you can go because Mary's not answering. Go ahead, Oliver.
And I'll describe myself as athletic because I've played soccer my entire life.
Okay, playing soccer. Yep, good. Mary, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, what's a word that describes you? Do you want, I can think of one if you want me to think of one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And then you give me an example of it, okay? So one thing I would say about Mary is that you are an animal lover. How would I know that?
Because I have a bunch of pets.
Page 12.
Yeah, and you're going to vet tech, right? Good.
Mhm.
All right, good. Jackson S., give me a word to describe you.
Maybe.
Oh, humble. That's a good word. And how would I know you're humble? What would be an example of that?
I don't talk about myself.
Good. Good. Excellent. Travis.
I don't know.
Okay. It's hard. I don't know you as well as I've known Mary a little bit. Let's see. Well, I think that you're introspective. Do you know what introspective means?
Not really.
So introspective is when you take big ideas and like things that are going on in society and life, and you really you think about them and you have an opinion about them. Would you say that's fair that you are introspective?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And I think, and my example from that would be things that when you've done writings, like the information you have shared in writing. So by the way you discuss and share in writings, things that are going on in the world and your opinion of them shows me that you're introspective. So that would be the example I would give.
Okay.
All right. Jackson K., what's a word to describe yourself? I couldn't hear you. Keep your sound on.
Annoying.
What's the word to describe yourself?
Annoying.
Annoying? Well, what do you do that's annoying?
Many things.
Give me an example.
Not sure.
Give me an example of something you do that annoys your mom.
Doesn't do what she asks.
Ah, okay. There you go. Okay. Obstinate would be another word for that, right? When you just don't do what somebody asks you to do. Good. Hayden, can you give me a word that describes yourself?
What about recumbent?
Oh, are you laying down right now?
Nope.
Nope. So recumbent is when you're laying down. Do you lay down a lot?
Sure, I do.
Okay, then recumbent would work. Josh S., what's a word that describes you?
I don't know. What's a word that says like not caring about like
Apathetic.
what other people do?
Apathetic is when you just don't care about what's going on around you. Or
That's
do you
someone
mean
like not caring like what kind of like life someone else is living because it does, I don't like not affecting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. So I think you could just say open-minded. How about
that.
Okay. And in your example, you kind of already gave your example. Like whatever other people do, that doesn't bother you. That's their thing. You do your thing. Good. All right. So everybody gave me an example of a characteristic and a way that we would be able to kind of tell that you have that characteristic. So when we talk about characteristics and characterization in writing, this is what we're talking about. So we know with Of Mice and Men, with Lenny and George, that George is smaller than Lenny and Lenny is bigger than George. And we know that because the author gives us a very, very clear physical description of these men, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about this, and then we'll use some examples. So when we talk about characterization, this is how the writer reveals the personality of the character, okay? And sometimes it's directly, they tell you straight out, and sometimes it's not straight out. Sometimes they don't say he's messy. Instead, they say his room was a pigsty, and we have to infer that, or we have to figure it out. Okay, so when we talk about, I don't know how many people watch The Big Bang Theory, but if you do watch The Big Bang Theory, this guy over here is Sheldon. So if I was going to be using direct characterization to tell you about Sheldon, I would say Sheldon is extremely intelligent. Straight out. I just tell you that this is a smart guy. You don't have to guess. I'm telling you straight out. But what if I said Sheldon barely has to spend any time studying, but he always gets the highest grade in his class? Does it say the word smart or intelligent in that sentence anywhere?
Not really.
No, it doesn't. But can I still tell that he's smart and intelligent from that sentence?
Yes.
Yeah, that's indirect characterization. I can tell by his behaviors and by what he does that he's a smart guy. So let's look at an example. Or let's look at our acronym first. So when we talk about this acronym, STEAL, S-T-E-A-L, these are the 5 ways that an author communicates information about a character. Okay, besides just saying it straight out, these are the 5 ways they use for indirect characterization. So S stands for speech. We can go by what a character says. Okay, if a character goes around yelling at people all the time, we know he's probably not such a nice person. If a person goes around talking kindly and then we know that something about them. Thoughts. When we read a book, oftentimes the author will tell us what a character was thinking. So we can use what his thoughts or her thoughts tell us to tell us more about that character. E stands for effect on other characters. That's probably the hardest one to remember. But this is, how do other characters act in response to this character? So for example, when the boss comes around in Of Mice and Men, how does Candy act when the boss comes around? What does he do? Candy's this old guy Swampert. Does anybody remember what he does when the boss came in?
He acts shy and leaves.
Yeah, he acts shy and he leaves. What's that, Connor?
Then he walked the other way.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, he got real shy and then he walked the other way and he snuck out of there. Okay. So that's the effect that the boss had on Candy. What does that tell us about the boss? If when the boss walks in the room, people get real shy and leave, what's that probably tell you about the boss?
He's a good boss.
Maybe. I don't know. If my boss is a good boss, I'd be like, I'd want to chat with him when he came in the room.
Yeah, but there's different types of good bosses.
Okay.
Trying to chat instead.
Your boss, he could be good and you want to chat with him, that he's a friendly guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Lenny and George's kind of boss is, he's a good boss, but he wants to get stuff done.
Okay, good. So this might tell us if he's a boss that he doesn't have time for any nonsense or chit chat. He's all business. Good. So it could tell us that he's all business, like Joe says, or if Candy is afraid to get involved, it could tell us that, maybe he's a little bit tough on people. So either way, his effect on Candy can tell us something about the boss. Good. Nice job, Joe. All right. Actions. How a person behaves tells us about that person, right? How they behave. We know that Curly fights with people all the time. So we know that Curly is a pugnacious guy. He's a handy guy. And then looks. We can also tell by a person's looks sometimes some of the indirect characterization. What do we know about the boss's clothes and shoes?
It's on high wool.
Yeah, he wears these higher heel shoes. And what does that tell us about him?
He likes expensive things.
Might tell us he likes expensive things. We found out a little more, though, what it tells us. Anybody remember?
No one else wears those.
No one else wears those. He wants to distinguish himself from the workers. So he has pride that he's the boss, and he does not want to be confused with the worker. So the way he looks tells us something about him. Excellent. Let's try a couple just to look. So steal. All right. 2 sentences here. This is a Harry Potter reference. So Harry Potter people will know it. And even if you don't know Harry Potter, you can figure it out. So the first sentence says, Hermione was a know-it-all who always told Ron and Harry the correct way to use their wands. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, stop. You're going to take someone's eye out, exclaimed Hermione. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Which one is a direct characterization, 1 or 2?
2, I guess.
What is the characteristic that they're telling us about Hermione?
Wouldn't it be 1?
What? Yes. Why, Jackson?
Because it's saying that he's like a know-it-all, and the other
Yes.
one's just saying
It says
like
it
what he did.
straight out and directly. Perfect. It says straight out and directly, Hermione is a know-it-all. In sentence number 2, what does Hermione do? So if you don't watch Harry Potter or you didn't read Harry Potter, they're practicing spells. And when she says, stop it, you're going to take someone's eye out, she's telling them the correct way to say the spell because they're saying it wrong. So what does that hint at? That hints at the fact that she's a know-it-all and she's the one that knows the answers all the time, right? So it doesn't say in sentence number 2, Hermione is a know-it-all, but we can tell by her actions and her words, okay? By her speech and her actions. All right, here's another one from Harry Potter. Think about which one is direct and which one is indirect. Number 1, Snape stared at Harry. His dark expression matched his black clothes, black hair, and black eyes. Number 2, of all the teachers at Hogwarts, Professor Snape was the meanest. So before you tell me direct or indirect, what is the characteristic about Snape that they're trying to get at? That Snape is what?
Direct.
What kind of guy is Snape? Snape is
Mean and evil.
mean and evil. Where does it tell me that directly, Connor? 1 or 2?
2.
2. 2 is the direct one, and 1 is indirect. Very good. Very good.
I was going to say
All
something
right.
else, but
Tomorrow, we're going to start the day by finishing up reading chapter 2. So we make sure that we get that done. But then we're going to come back to this discussion of direct and indirect characterization. And we're going to watch a little clip from the movie Up. And we're going to practice trying to identify speech, thoughts, effects on others, actions, and looks, and how we can tell things about characters from those things. Okay, so we'll watch that clip and do that activity tomorrow. And we'll also finish reading whatever we don't finish reading of chapter 2 for tomorrow. So right now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And what I want you guys to do is I want everybody to go find your book. If you don't have your book open, go find your book and get your book open, because that's what we're going to do next.
What page?
So we're going to start, we left off on page 30, I believe. Let me grab my book and make sure. Yeah, we finished. So open up to pages 30 and 31. That's where we're going to pick up. All right, everybody give me a yes or a thumbs up or something so I know that you have your book.
I got it.
Okay, good. I see a couple.
Yes, got it.
Perfect. All right, I know Hayden has his and Connor has his. Okay, all right, I'm starting to see some check marks. All right. Okay, we're all good.
Yeah, I'm doing something.
Everybody's got a book. Okay. So before we start, remember chapter 2 started with us coming in and meeting Candy, right? The old swamper with the old dog. That's the first person that George and Lenny met. And he gave them some warnings about the boss, told them a little information about Crooks, the stable buck, the African-American who lives out in the stables. And then we met Curly. When we were together on Monday, we met Curly. And what did we find out about Curly?
He's pugnacious.
He is pugnacious. He likes to fight. And what kind of guys does he particularly like to fight with?
What the heck, John?
Big guys.
Big guys, yes. Remember, he likes to target big guys because he's a little guy, and it makes him look big and bad if he can beat up the big guys. And he doesn't lose anything if he loses to a big guy. Excellent. So George gave Lenny a warning. He's like, you got to stay away from this guy. He's going to give us trouble, right? So
He's trying to fight him.
What's that, Joe?
I said that man's trying to fight Lenny.
Yeah, that guy wants to fight everybody, and he definitely was calling Lenny out, right? It's like, why don't you talk for yourself? He was looking him up and down. He would have started a fight with Lenny right there, I think, if he was able to. So George is worried about that, right? He doesn't want. Why is George worried about Lenny getting in a fight with Curly? Lenny doesn't seem like a fighter.
They'll get him like kicked off the job. Right
Yeah, yeah. Even if he doesn't start it, he's going to lose they'll lose their job for sure. Curly's the boss's son. Doesn't matter, right? He can't fight the boss's son. And we know that Lenny doesn't really think things through. So George is worried that Curly might bait Lenny into a fight. So he warns him and says, keep away from him, right? He says, if Curly comes in the room, you go across the room. Don't even get anywhere near him. So that's kind of where we ended up. And George kind of says, like, we're going to get our money and we're going to get out of here, right? But we got to stay safe while we're here. And so Lenny is a little bit worried, right? He's like, are you mad at me? I don't understand. So George calms him down. He's like, no, but listen, if anything bad happens, what's Lenny supposed to do?
Go to the bush.
Go to the brush. Yeah, the brush. The bush is the brush. Yes, very good. Back where they were at the very beginning when they came down to that lovely idyllic pond. Go back there and hide if anything happens. So that's where we ended up. So on the bottom of page 30, that's what he's telling them. And then all of a sudden, Curly's wife shows up. So I'm going to start reading on the bottom of page 30, and then we're going to talk about Curly's wife for a little bit, okay? A brake screeched outside. A call came. Stable Buck! Oh, Stable Buck! George said, say it over to yourself, Lenny, so you won't forget it. So he's referencing back to go by the brush, hide by the brush. Both men glanced up, for the rectangle of sunshine in the doorway was cut off. A girl was standing there looking in. Now, he's going to describe her physically. So remember, in Steele, looks is one of the things that we can use to find out about a woman or a man or a character. So let's pay attention to his physical description of her, and we'll talk a little bit about what that means too. She had full rouged lips and wide-spaced eyes, heavily made up. Her fingernails were red. Her hair hung in little rolled clusters like sausages. She wore a cotton house dress and red mules, on the insteps of which were little bouquets of red ostrich feathers. I'm looking for Curly, she said. Her voice had a nasal, brittle quality. George looked away from her and then back. He was in here a minute ago, but he went. Oh! She put her hands behind her back and leaned against the door frame so that her body was thrown forward. You're the new fellas that just come, ain't ya? Yeah. Lenny's eyes moved down over her body, and though she did not seem to be looking at Lenny, she bridled a little. She looked at her fingernails. Sometimes Curly's in here, she explained. George said brusquely, well, he ain't now. If he ain't, I guess I better look someplace else, she said playfully. Lenny watched her, fascinated. George said, if I see him, I'll pass the word you was looking for him. She smiled archly and twitched her body. Nobody can't blame a person for looking, she said. There were footsteps behind her, going by. She turned her head. Hi, Slim, she said. Slim's voice came through the door. Hi, good looking. I'm trying to find Curly, Slim. Well, you aren't trying very hard. I seen him going in your house. Suddenly, she was apprehensive. Bye, boys, she called into the bunkhouse, and she hurried away. All right, we got to stop there, and we got to discuss this lady. All right, Curly's wife. Let's go back, and let's look on page 31 on that first paragraph where they describe her physical looks. What can we infer let's use indirect characterization. What can we tell about Curly's wife based on this physical description of her? She had full rouged lips and wide spaced eyes, heavily made up. Her fingernails were red. Her hair hung in little rolled clusters like sausages. She wore a cotton dress and red mules. Those are little heels, on the insteps of which were little bouquets of red ostrich feathers. So based just on her looks, what can we tell about her? Let's think about it. She's living on a ranch. Go ahead, Connor.
I was gonna say she has some things similar as the boss, I guess.
Like, so she's distinguishing herself as a little bit fancier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's definitely fancier, right? They're on a dirty old ranch. And what is she wearing, Mary? What is she wearing, and how does she have her hair and makeup? Guys got to answer me or I got to call on you because I can't tell who's paying attention because no one has on a camera.
My camera's technically
That's
on.
not
My
Yeah.
camera is on.
I forget what the.
That's
I
on
think
here.
it's Flapper.
Mm-hmm. From the 20s.
Yeah.
Is that what it makes you think of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reference. So remember, this is the flappers started in the 20s and probably carried into the 30s a little bit. So this would have been, flapper would have been something that she has seen, right? No matter where they were more in the city than they were out in the suburbs, but we don't know her background. So dressing up fancy like a flapper, that might be part of what influenced her. Okay. So the flappers were trying to exert a little bit of independence as women. So maybe that's part of it. Do you think she cares about her appearance?
No, not really.
No, why
I
not?
think she does.
You think she does? Why?
She's obviously trying to impress people.
Yeah, she's trying to impress people. She's on a ranch, but she paints her nails. She does her hair. She does her makeup. She's wearing heels with fancy little feathers on them. So she clearly wants to make an impression on other people. What
I
people
wanted to say yes,
does she want to
but
make
I
an
don't know why I
impression
said no.
on? Who's around? Oliver, who's around on this ranch?
I don't think I'm no one, pretty much.
Just the ranch hands, right? She's the only woman on this ranch.
Yeah,
She's
just-
not trying to impress other women. She's trying to impress the men on the ranch, right? Does anybody remember what Candy referred to her as earlier? He called her a tart, right? Saying that she was flirting with all the other guys. So we just looked at her looks. What about her actions? Does she do anything with her actions on this page that I just read that would help support the idea that Candy said that she's a tart and she's flirty? Let's look at her actions or her words. What does she do or say?
All I can say is she said, "Hey boys." That's all I can say.
Yeah. So that's one when she says, "Hey boys." Yep.
She leans against like the door with like her.
Yes. Yes. And if we were to act that out, if you stood up and act that out, she's leaning against the door and she's pushing herself out against the door. She's being very, very flirty with George and Lenny. Okay. How does George react to this? Does George start to flirt back?
No.
Doesn't he get, like kind of like mad or something?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. And he's kind of, it says he answers her brusquely. He's not buying into this, right? And she says the only reason she's out there is she's looking for who?
Curly.
Curly, right. And when she says, when Slim, the guy who's going to be one of their bosses, tells her he's up at the house, she was suddenly apprehensive. Why would she get, remember, apprehensive is she's fearful. Why would she get afraid if he says your husband's up at the house?
He might be looking for like her stuff.
Yeah, he might be looking through her stuff, or he might be looking for her. And if he finds her down there flirting with boys, then he's not going to be very happy about that, right? So we don't know why she's so flirty with these guys, but we can tell from her actions that she is. Let's see what happens. George looked around at Lenny. Jesus, what a tramp, he said. So that's what Curly picks for a wife. She's pretty, said Lenny defensively. Yeah, and she's sure hiding it. Curly got his work ahead of him. I bet she'd clear out for $20. Lenny still stared at the doorway where she had been. Gosh, she was pretty, he said admiringly. George looked quickly down at him, and then he took him by an ear and shook him. Listen to me, you crazy bastard, he said fiercely. Don't you even look at that bitch. I don't care what she says and what she does. I seen him poison before, but I never seen no piece of jailbait worse than her. You leave her be. Lenny tried to disengage his ears. I never done nothing, George. No, you never. But when she was standing in the doorway showing her legs, you wasn't looking the other way neither. I never meant no harm, George. Honest, I never. Well, you keep away from her, because she's a rat trap if I ever seen one. You let Curly take the rap. He let himself in for it, glove full of Vaseline, George said disgustedly. And I bet he's eating raw eggs and right into the patent medicine houses. Lenny cried out suddenly. I don't like this place, George. This ain't no good place. I want to get out of here. We got to keep it till we get a steak. We can't help it, Lenny. We'll get out just as soon as we can. I don't like it no better than you do. He went back to the table and set out a new solitaire hand. No, I don't like it, he said. For 2 bits, I'd shove out of here. If we can get just a few dollars in the poke, we'll shove off and go up the American River and pan gold. We can maybe get a couple of dollars a day there, and we might hit a pocket. Lenny leaned eagerly toward him. Let's go, George. Let's get out of here. It's mean here. We got to stay, George said shortly. Shut up now. The guys will be coming in. All right. So George grabs Lenny by the ear and shakes him. Why is he doing that? What did poor Lenny do? Travis, why do you think George reacts this way to Lenny?
Because they basically don't exactly have anywhere to go or like have any other job.
Mm-hmm. And what is he worried about? What did Lenny do that worried him? Who was Lenny looking at?
At her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So George noticed that Lenny was looking at Curly's wife, looking her up and down. Okay. And he reacts in an extreme manner to tell you, Lenny, stay away from her. Don't even look at her. Why is it so extreme for George to make this point to Lenny? What do we know about Lenny's past that would make this an important thing?
He gets in trouble a lot.
He gets in trouble, right? And he doesn't know boundaries. What did he get in trouble? Mary, what did Lenny get in trouble for in the town of Weed before they came to this ranch? What did he do?
I kind of forgot.
Mary. Mary. Y'all gonna have your cameras on if you're not gonna answer me when I call on you, so I know you're there. Who remembers, what did Lenny do in the town of Weed before they got there that got him in trouble?
Grab the little girl's dress.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So if he thinks that that dress is soft and pretty, right? George is worried that Lenny might do something like that. He doesn't know boundaries. He doesn't know where to stop. So he's basically wants to scare Lenny into staying away from Curly's wife. Because like Travis said, if they get in trouble, they're going to lose their job. They're going to lose their money and they're trying to save up for their dream, right? George calls Curly's wife a lot of words in here. What are some of the words that he uses to refer to her? We know that Candy already called her a tart. We see a lot of misogynistic language, meaning anti-woman language. Okay. George doesn't know anything about her, but he uses a lot of derogatory terms. What are some of the derogatory terms he uses?
Was it bastard?
Well, no, he says he does use the word bastard, but that he's using that to kind of get Lenny's attention. Like, listen, you crazy bastard, listen to me. What are the words he uses to refer to her?
Oh.
Doesn't he say jailbait?
He says jailbait. Good. What else? Come on. Jackson K, what's another word he uses?
One of the bad words, I guess.
Yeah, he uses the B word. He calls her a bitch. Yep. What else?
Guys, you know I'm a PG person. I don't like to swear.
Jackson K, what else?
Not sure.
Well, look in the book. Start with George looked around at Lenny over the top of page 32.
I don't have my book.
Why don't you have your book?
It's at my other house.
All right, you got to have your book.
Yeah.
Someone else help out Jackson. He doesn't have his book. Starts with a T. It's another word that starts with a T. Top of page 32. Guys have to have your eyes on your book. We reference text. You got to have it.
I really don't see any other word starts with a T. Maybe it's on the next.
Mary. Can you please respond to me so I know that you're there? There you go. All right, Mary, look at the top of page 32. What does he call her? He says, Jesus, what a what? Look on page 32. Do you have your book? Everybody should be following along in the book when I'm reading.
I found it.
Thanks. Go ahead, Oliver.
The tramp.
He calls her a tramp. So we've got tart, tramp. He calls her the B word. He calls her jailbait. He calls her a rat trap. These are all derogatory terms. So what does this tell us about the way they view women in this book so far?
Mean?
Yeah, they don't give them very much respect, right? Because we don't know that Curly's wife has done anything wrong, but automatically, because she was a little bit flirty with these guys, they use all these terms. So jailbait and rat trap are words that refer to like she's going to cause them trouble. That it doesn't matter what they do, she's the one that causes them trouble. And the other thing we find out about Curly's wife is that they don't even give her own name. So the only thing they ever refer to her as in this book is Curly's wife. What does that tell us about the respect that is given to women during this time?
They don't care about the names of girls.
Why? Yeah, so they don't care about the names, but they call her Curly's wife. So what does that mean?
She doesn't.
What is she seen as?
She's unknown, I guess.
Yeah, even further than that, what would you say she's seen as? Curly's wife. Who do they say she belongs to?
Curly, I guess.
Curly, right. So they see her as a possession, not as a full person, right? And they have lots of derogatory things to say about her. So we can tell from what other people say, from her actions, from her looks, from her speech, lots of information about her. So when we get back together tomorrow, we're going to pick up and we're going to finish chapter 2 and we'll talk about it. And then we're going to do the activity with direct and indirect characterization. And I'm going to give you tomorrow, we're going to see, I had something as a bonus, but it might just be an activity instead of a bonus. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But if you have not finished your Common Lit, please get that done tonight. Jackson K, do you think you can have your book for tomorrow, or are you not going to be at your other house tomorrow? Jackson K. Do you think you can have your book for tomorrow? Do you think you can, will you have your book for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing, my friends. Nobody's turning on their cameras, and I love when you do, but I cannot make you turn on your cameras. So I feel like people are more engaged when cameras are on. But if you choose to keep your camera off, that's okay. But then if I call on you, you got to know where we are and you got to respond to me. Because otherwise, I think you're either not there at all or you're not paying attention to what we're doing. Okay? So I do appreciate very, very much the people that have been responding. And I hope that everybody is able to engage tomorrow. And the bell's going to ring in a minute. So please make sure you have finished Common Lit. And if you haven't, get that done. And anything else you're missing, check Dashboard. And if it says missing in Dashboard, you can find it in Google Classroom. I'll still accept it. Okay? Any questions?
Not
right.
really.
Not really? Okay. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure she was about to say something. Okay, guys, this is my
See you
last.
tomorrow.
This is my last class, so I'm gonna try to voice show this my history. English, I really couldn't do it because like of the new student. So Let's hop into this class.
Like, oh my gosh, like, let's just try this.
Guys, I'm gonna get something to eat for a second, so. Alright, this is loading, I'm gonna get something to eat. let's get that up. Sorry to let you guys wait. I was getting something to eat.
Okay. Yes, I think I have everybody. All right, nice. Yeah. Can I just also say to this class, you are all amazing. In terms of your election day projects, I have every single person's except for one. That one person, you know who you are, and we've already talked about an extension for that, so no worries. But other than that, everybody's is done and everybody's is graded in Google Classroom. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I finished that just last period, and they were great. I thought they were really amazing. It was really nice hearing your opinions and thoughts, and I really appreciate you sharing what you thought with me. So again, thank you so much for that. I don't want to take too much of your time because I do want to make sure that you're able to take the quiz today. It's currently opened, but please don't start it yet because I have 4 points I need to make to help you. So during third period, I realized that whenever I created the Google Classroom post for today and today's quiz, I clearly wasn't thinking at all. I wrote this quiz a couple of weeks ago, and then partly because of changing Monday's class and stuff like that, I covered things a little bit differently and ended up not fully covering all the stuff I put on the quiz, and realized it as I was giving third period their quiz. So I did fix everything. It should be all good to go. I didn't have any problems fourth period, but I need to make a couple of points to you that are going to help you on your quiz today. So I'm just going to share my screen. And in the stream section, and this is, I'll go to your class. In the stream section of Google Classroom, which is shared on your screen right now, and also in the instructions for today in the quiz are the 4 same points. I'm going to go back here. Those points are aligned with the last 4 questions of the quiz. And again, I think that you'd probably be able to figure them out, but I want to make sure that you don't get these wrong. So they're on your quiz, they're on Google Classroom. I'm going to go through it right now. Last 4 questions of the test, you should not miss any answers. The first point I just want to make, shanty towns are slums that people lived in. We've talked about this before, but not in the past couple of days. They're basically people who lose their apartments, they lose their houses, they need somewhere to live. So they're going to live in a little shack of basically whatever they can put together to provide them shelter. And these are all going to be really crowded together. There's no running water. There's no sewer system, nothing like that. It's disgusting. And it is a pure sign of how terrible the Great Depression is. And it is very fondly nicknamed after Herbert Hoover
I'm gonna turn off camera,
because of his inability to do anything to help the economy during this time. So they are called Hoovervilles. Second point, hobos or homeless people in the 1930s during the Great Depression, while I'm sure they do at points beg for food, more often than not, the stereotype of them on railroad car trains during this time, it becomes more, the stereotype derives from this point. So hobos would sneak past police and hop onto railroad cars during the Depression for shelter and potentially to take them to somewhere else. The third point is that immigrants already, we knew in the 1920s, were having a difficult time if you came from certain parts of the world in the United States. A lot of immigrants are discriminated against in the United States in general. And so what happens is they're either paid less or they're refused jobs historically. So when it gets to the point where we have the Great Depression and now we have competition among people who are already very established family lines in the United States, immigrants are going to have a difficult time taking care of themselves and their families and have difficulty getting jobs or jobs that pay enough. And so a lot of them are going to be forced to have to move back to their homelands, back to their home nations. The fourth point and last point I want to make really quickly is that there were a number of ways people could hear about information regarding the Great Depression and hear about other people's experiences and what it was like living in this way. And the way people could do that was through hearing speeches, maybe on the radio, reading novels like The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. If you haven't read that, I'm sure you will at some point. Or by viewing pictures like we did last week, specifically the migrant mother who's like looks sad and her hand is on under her chin. Okay, those all show and depict what life is like during the Depression. However, other forms of media and art are created for the purpose of not thinking about those things. So movies and soap operas are supposed to distract from the worry of everything that's going on. They're just supposed to be for entertainment purposes. Do you have any questions on that information? Okay, again, those are the last 4 questions of the test or quiz. So hopefully you do not miss those questions. You will have the entirety of the rest of the class period to take the quiz. You will stay on this Zoom call until you have finished. When you do finish, you may send me a private chat and then leave. And then what you will be working on is, if you go to classwork, if you go to today's date and the quiz, there's a Nearpod. Okay, looks like this. It wasn't created by me, but it was edited by me to make sure it fits our class. What you're going to be looking at is the New Deal. So this is FDR's plan. First plan to try to help and fix the economy. What you'll see today is it comes under a lot of criticism, and as a result, he'll have to come up with an additional plan called very creatively the Second New Deal. We will be lecturing on the Second New Deal tomorrow, but I will also make main points from this presentation today, so I don't want you to think you're all on your own. But basically, you're going to do the quiz, and then you're going to do the Nearpod, and you will get participation points for going through and completing that Nearpod. Asynchronously, I honestly think you can finish by 3:01. Okay. The last point I just want to make really quickly is, again, I really enjoy a lot of your projects. One project that I thought was really creative and I played it yesterday right after class was Connor's. So Connor has his own YouTube channel, and I think it's pretty cool. We decided not to play the video for you in actual class, but if you have interest in going and watching what he created, his YouTube channel, and I believe I'm going to say it right, is Gamer Haven Plays or Player, something like that. Connor, correct me if I'm wrong.
You got it.
Okay, I got it. So you can see his emblem is on his screen right now. If you're interested, you can look him up on YouTube and watch that. But otherwise, I'm going to stay in this Zoom chat. I will be sitting right here. If you need me, I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself, turn my camera off, and best of luck on your quiz.
Bye. I wasn't expecting her to just say that. Okay, what was it? I forgot what it was called. New test, due date, turn in. Assignment, is this it? No. Nearpod, where is it? Study guide, unit test. I don't need to stream right now, okay. Oh, it's right here the whole entire time, okay. Okay, let's do this quiz. Email. I spelled that wrong. Okay. first name. Period 8. Click yes, I agree with the work, yes. Okay, it's also right here. Okay. Okay. Before the stock market crash. Okay, and then a blank percent of people hold 33% of the wealth. Was it like 5%? I'm pretty sure it's 5. So the Dust Bowl in the 1930s resulted from... What the heck does this word mean? Hold on. I actually don't know what this word means. Hold on. What's that mean? Oh, okay, so view 15 days, impact to environment, harm to local environment, dry sea. Okay. I would probably say tornadoes. I might be wrong. I actually might be wrong with that, but it might be this one, but say tornadoes. I didn't answer this one, so before the stock market crashes, for sure it's 5%. What happened after the stock market crashes of 1929? Global dropped in pieces of good. Okay, quickly is protected job. Protects jobs. Dropped in pieces of good. What happened to the U.S.? Okay, how many questions are there? Okay, just making sure. Okay, what happened to the U.S. businesses when Europeans does not have any money? Failed because European could not afford our stuff, or did not have many opinions. Okay, American businesses did better since Europeans does not have any opinions, or American businesses failed because Europeans could not afford our stuff. I'm gonna say this. Imagine all this is wrong, and it's literally the first one. Like, imagine it's actually 10%, but I'm positive it's 5%. What is the reason Herbert Hoover was not re-elected for presidency? I feel like I know this. Okay, my blank, many blank, I don't know that word, that came to the attention of American people of the communist situation is lack their ability to stop it. Who won the election? What was significantly about FDR's time of government of New York? Many people were afraid FDR would abandon the blank standard. So, yeah. And then what? Okay, so rise the price of item. Wait, I skipped this one. Okay, what had the Holly Smooth Truth do? Set a limit to make lower prices on American things, so people buy more American-made items. Rise the price of items to cause a worldwide depression. No, it's definitely this one. And then it'd be this. Okay. The lack of ability. It was definitely okay. So Harvard Harvard, whoever was trying to was it like he's the one who built the Hoover Dam, right? Who did make built the Hoover Dam, but wanted to build more things to help people during the crash market, right? I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure it was this one, but I was also trying to get the attention to people, but was the lack of ability to stop it. So who won the election of 1932? It wasn't Harvard, I know that. But my guess is William Jennings Bryan. Is that how you say it? Bryan? Maybe not. But Franklin Delano. Dude, these people have really tough names and some like weird last names also. So Harvard is out. Okay, Frank or William? I'm trying to think who it would be. Trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna say William. It might be like I'm gonna come back to this question. Okay. What was significant about FDR? Man, I spoke on time of government of New York. He created a social security system for the state of New York, or created the first state relief. Okay, for unemployment. He created the first state relief for unemployment, or what's a social security? Oh man, I forgot about this. What does FRD mean? Like, yeah. I'm gonna guess this one, and I'm keeping that answer, but I'm also gonna look up what the heck does RDS mean, or FDR mean. The nickname of the United States. Okay. It doesn't really help. Okay. But keeping my answer right there. Many people were afraid RDS. Okay, so that's a president. So it's definitely so. Franklin, that's who it is. So, who would abandon the silver, bronze, or gold? You think it's a good idea for me to share this on like stream? Cause like people's definitely like, just watch. Like if my classmates literally find this stream, I'm pretty sure they are already on it. They're definitely going to like probably use this to help them. I don't know. Many people were afraid Franklin and was it Franklin Denleo, is that how you say it? Denleo? Roosevelt. Okay, Roosevelt. So, Franklin Delano Roosevelt would abandon the service status. So, I'm gonna say server. When Roosevelt took office, what percentages of the American people were Okay. Unemployed. 20 or 25. My reasonable guess is 20. All of the following were people Harvard are organized countless meetings with defined situation of depression, except bankers with the depression of the stock market couldn't really give cash out. But for the war, they gave $1,000 for a bonus for them. So lawyers, on the other hand, and government officials. So I'm gonna say lawyers, except it'll be except lawyers. Judge me if I'm wrong, if you really want. Okay, now it says the 1,000. Okay, so it'd be vigilant. Women's worked here. Which group of people describes those who march in the bonus marchers to receive the $1,000 bonus? People who worked in the war, which would be veterans, or women workers from the war, veterans. There you go. How did Harvard feel about relief program? Money give directly to families. He said something about the government should not do it. Give them. Okay, so he thought it was a federal government sole job to provide relief. He thought state or local governments and charities organization should provide relief, which he wanted to provide more buildings. Sorry, I got the hiccups. So imagine I'm wrong. Imagine okay, what the heck? What is the Emergency Relief on Construction Act important? Was the first time the federal government was supported directly, a direct relief fund, or was it was the first time the federal government was created public working jobs? I would probably say like the public working jobs, but actually, yeah, the public working jobs, definitely. To fix the small amount of cash people use, Harvard wanted to print more money to put into circulation, provide more loans for people. It was printing more money, right? I might be wrong with this one, but I feel like that would actually go with what he is gonna do. I might have everything switched around in my head right now. Like, was Harvard really the person who wanted to build? I think I forget what it was, but it was something about the Hoover Dam or something. I'm positive. He wanted to build something. If I'm wrong, if it's not him, like all these answers are wrong. Those getting hungry during the Great Depression would often do what to receive food? Stand in bread lines for free food, local grocery stores in their own town and city. Loot grocery stores. Okay, so those going hungry during the Great Depression would often do what? This is like really, really important. I don't want to miss this one. Like I studied for this, but I have a really short time memory sometimes. that sometimes happens. Stand in bread lines for food. Okay, let's just skip that one for a second. Okay, so these are the last ones. So those are the last questions I had that was given. So let me show you. So, okay. Okay, slum people lived and were named. Okay, that's him. And then it says, Hoish would sneak past police onto road-wide cars during the Depression of shelter to transportation. And then it says, it's past road. Okay, so that's what it is. I don't think this is cheating because I'm literally just using this. Okay, look, this just says, please note the following information to help you for the quiz today. So, yeah, it's part of it. How were immigrants affected by the Great Depression? They were treated no different than average Americans who lost everything, which that seems the correct answer. Or would it be the second one? They were forced in large numbers to return in their home nation. Which I feel like it would be this one because they affected because they were forced, but they were also treated differently, no differently than everyone else. All of the following are ways life during the Depression could have been informed and showed to the general public expect. Okay, so the effect of the Great Depression every day, the information of general would have been in the novel, have been shown in the novel, speeches, and pictures. Other types of medical/art had meant for entertainment provides only. So only and okay. Okay, I still have to answer this one and double check that one other answer to make sure that if I have the correct one. Like if I'm gonna keep that answer, yes, but I don't. I'm 100%. I'm 100% sure I have that wrong. But it's a good guess at least like. If you guys really don't think you know the answer. Okay, so all the following during the accept speeches and what was it? So speeches and photo. General public. So this is just saying accept. So all of the following are ways life during the Depression could have been informed and showed to the general public accept. So it's accepting you just accept the answers you have. Okay, so it'll be that one. Okay, wrong one. I forgot this one. Those going hungry during the so okay. I did hear a word saying bread line. But wow, there's 8 people left. I didn't realize that. But I don't know. Like everyone went to the grocery store. Like let's just say this: if you have $20.54 total, you only have. And you go to a grocery store, you have to spend that much. You can save some, but let's say you have 5. Let's say you have a daughter and a wife. You have to feed them both. You have a son that also has a hole in the shoe, and you don't want to buy him shoes, but you can buy him duct tape to at least duct tape the thing. But it's about to be winter. I'm just taking what is close to what English would say. and you have to go to the grocery store to buy all those materials. You have to buy food also during that time. So I'm positive no one would stand in the bread line for free food. Yes, probably to get free food, of course, but like it's gonna be a long, long line. That might be already out of food. So I'll probably say local stores and town and cities. So that's my final answer. So that's all. Okay. Okay, let's do the Neopod. Okay, name is Connor Erickson, and I don't have anyone else. Okay, The New Deal by Paul the Bird. Okay, secondary teacher. That's an octave. Okay, hold on. Is this like the whole? It's the whole. Oh yeah, this is the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, I did read this over with, and then saying it. So what's this? Okay, why do you think Franklin called the New Deal? Called this program the New Deal? It was a new and it was deal. No. His cousin Theodore had a plan for the square deal to continue the politics of. Okay, I thought if you clicked on it, it said you got it correct, but no, I just realized about the circles. Okay, so I might be wrong about this, but I'm gonna say his cousin had the. Okay, so people were suffering from the Great Depression and were upset at the President Harvard respond. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I'm sorry if I'm saying this name wrong. TR's cousin promised a New Deal. Hold on, I got that correct, right? TR, I got it correct. I'm 100% sure I got it correct. FDR wins over Harvard. Okay. Brain Trust. Read this over with. Brain Trust comes up with a New Deal, and that's just 3 goals: relief for the needy, and recoverment and reform. 100 day. Okay, what was... Okay, as seen in the video. Okay. Make sure.
My most immediate concern is in carrying out the purposes of the great work program just enacted by the Congress. Its first objective is to put men and women now on the relief rolls to work, and incidentally to assist materially in our already unmistakable march towards recovery. For the first time in 5 long years, the relief rolls have declined instead of increased during the winter months, and they are still declining. In spite of these facts, however, unemployment remains a serious problem here as in every other nation. And it is because of this that we've come to recognize the possibility and the necessity of certain helpful remedial measures. These measures are of 2 kinds. The first is to make provisions intended to relieve, to minimize, and to prevent future unemployment. The second is to establish measures, the practical means to help those who are unemployed in the present emergency. Our Social Security legislation is an attempt to answer the first of these questions, and our work relief program the second. We're losing no time in getting the government's vast work relief program underway, and we have every reason to believe that it should be in full swing by the autumn.
Okay. Something's wrong. What the heck is this? Okay. No. Let me join. Tell me I saved everything. Did it save everything? Let's see. Okay, yes it did. Okay. I don't know what the heck just happened right there. Okay, so what's this open-ended question? Okay, what was the probus of Franklin Danlo? I don't know. Fireside chat, as seen in the video. Do you think it worked? In this year, no. But in 1930, I think it was 1932, right? 1932, yes. Trying to think, I forgot what he said. It was something like, yeah, I'm gonna go back for a second that I know what he said. It was like something like, yeah, I'm gonna put the volume up on my laptop. Okay, let's see what he says. Okay. So it's is he just okay? So I'm pretty sure his speech is mostly just about like getting the crash market back up, not back up, but like get all the people not to be depressed. Like listening that a little bit more clearly for some reason. Is that's what I think. That's actually what I think. But I'm gonna say yes. It worked in that only 1932, but in this year, no. For his speech, it helped those in need. I really don't know. I really don't know how to start this. For his speech to help those in need. Okay, this help those in need and make all depressed people. I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but like it's a depressed people to feel like they are now happy and not depressed. Does that I feel like that I feel like that actually answers the speech. I don't know. Like he's trying to do what Harvard couldn't do, and bring everything back to normal, and almost as to bring things back to normal. How to spell normal? Okay, normal. And if my teacher is watching, from the title, of course, saying the reaction when I do my girl voice, I was gonna do it, but when I realized like how short the class is gonna be, yeah. Okay, so is there another question at the end? Okay, one open question. Okay, what was an AA? So, okay, let's just keep reading this. I didn't see this. I'm gonna say, sorry to not answer. I was doing the near pod. Sure. I can retake the quiz. Oh, okay, so what is an something? What was the question? Why was the, okay, hold on. No. One of the most, okay, here, let's just take that. There you go. There's my answer. There you go. Okay, okay. Which of the New Deal reforms do you think was, okay, let's see if the teacher respond to me. Okay, not really. Which was the New Deal reform do you think was more effective? Why? The glass.
Hi, Nick. Thank you for finishing that. You're free to go at this time. Class is over. Connor, the school day is over. I'll leave it open for you to retake, but I'm going to end the Zoom call, okay? So just send me an email if you have any questions.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna wrap this live stream up. There's gonna be another live stream in about, I'm gonna say 32 minutes. So it's gonna be it's gonna be 3:34 for me. So I put a schedule up, so it's technically gonna be in 30 minutes. So that's when my that's when the stream is gonna start. But I'm gonna say 32 minutes. I'm gonna finish eating, and then I'm gonna finish doing this. So, other than that, if you guys did enjoy this, I know my camera's not on, but my next stream will be have it on. But it's not the stream. It's not gonna be the Roblox video in the live stream. I'm gonna do that offline to catch myself up because of the mistake I did. But other than that, it was GamerHaven, known as Connor, known as GamerHaven Vlog, and I have a lot of names I could go by. But other than that, it was Connor, known as GamerHaven, and I'm out. Peace. See you guys later.